What's shaking? The idea of Christmas coming early is typically just a figure of speech, but it's actually happening today. We're gonna kick off the Crankworx Slopestyle World Tour for 2025 a day early. It's the Maxxis Slopestyle in memory of McGazza. The way we traditionally kick off any Crankworx World Tour season is right here on this beautiful course. And by doing this, the McGazza train in honor of our fallen friend, Kelly McGarry, who passed away years ago. We love him, and we love cherishing his memory by getting together and dropping into this beautiful course here that has become such a staple in the sport of mountain bike slopestyle. I'm your host today, Cam McCall, alongside Alan Cook. We got a full field for the women, a full field for the men today. And as we mentioned, coming at you a day early based on some of the weather that we had forecasted. The riders decided, you know what, we got great conditions on Saturday, let's just get her done. But right now we're gonna have this McGazza train, Alan, and it's a tradition to kick things off.
Yeah, you know, it's not only a kickoff to the event here today, but it's also kind of a kickoff for the slopestyle season. This is the first diamond event here, so the riders have been practicing all winter long. They've been saving up these big tricks, and now's their day to release them into the wild. Gotta love this party train. Such a good little way for these riders to loosen up, get their mind right. It's gonna be a battle.
Well, this Crankworx World Tour season, 3 events kicking things off here. Rotorua, New Zealand will be in Cairns, Australia, and then the finals will be in Whistler for Red Bull Joyride. 3 stops this season rather than 4, and you know what that does? It really puts the pressure on for that Triple Crown. We saw the Triple Crown accomplished last year, David Godziak. It was a similar scenario. The men did not ride here last year. And so anybody who wanted to win that Triple Crown was forced to basically be flawless throughout the season, which really decreases the chances of doing so. We saw David do it.
Yeah, I mean, basically that's what it took last year, was a sweep. And with only 3 events this year, it's gonna take a sweep. So everybody is definitely focused, they're on point. You know, the shifts that have been happening with the schedule, you know, the organizers working with the athletes to create the best atmosphere for this, you know, sometimes that helps. Sometimes it throws you off. That's where the mental side comes in. All of these riders out here are capable of winning, but who can get their mind right? Who can deal with the adversity, deal with this new format? We're going to be eliminating people. We haven't done that before. It's going to be really exciting.
The last World Tour stop we had was, you know, the finals of the 2024 season, Red Bull Joyride. Of course, we just mentioned that Godziak wrapped up the Triple Crown there. But you talk about the energy of what this moment means to kick off the season. Let's think back to the energy of last year, that huge crowd, as they were just absolutely getting behind their local boy, Ben Thompson.
The first run for me was rough. Obviously, I wanted to put it down again for the crowd. And we made it work in the second run. Obviously, nowhere near what I wanted. I wasn't even going to drop, but I looked over the side and saw all you guys going crazy. And I'm like, whatever, if I do some chill tricks and make it to the finish, I'm happy. So once again, I love you guys. We're the finish corral again. I see so many kids getting stoked, and I was that kid for so many years, year after year. And like I said, to all the kids, if you want it bad enough, you will be here one day, and I mean that. So I'm stoked.
So cool to see Ben Thompson with the big dogs. He's been so consistent. I remember him as a little Whistler kid in summer gravity camps, and now he's out there, the big show. But we can't really stress enough how incredibly difficult it is to not only find yourself on tour, but to remain on tour. Ben Thompson, top of his game right now, still just good enough for 7th place at the first Summer Series stop we had just a couple weeks ago in Christchurch. Take a look at this run. To think that this was just 7th place and it wasn't a World Tour stop, it's insane.
Yeah, the level is huge.
So big moves there for Ben Thompson, and that was just good enough for 7th place. But a lot of big name riders out of the competition today, which opens up the door for riders like Ben Thompson to find themselves on the invite list here. But for more on the riders that aren't on the invite list here today, let's check in with the 3rd member of our team, Bree. How's it going, Bree?
Thanks. starting with a clean slate today. 3 of the big names have been sidelined due to injury. Emil Johansson, the Triple Crown winner, he's won here 4 times before. He's still recovering from shoulder surgery. David Godziak, he's last year's Triple Crown winner. He twisted his knee and he had surgery on his meniscus. Eric Fedko, he's always a crowd favourite. He was voted Rider of the Day at Red Bull Joyride. He broke his femur 6 months ago. Fans will be happy to know he is here somewhere, and I'm hoping to catch up with him a little later.
Yeah, so some big names. Obviously, it's a bummer to not see them out here, but with the influx of new talent, it really opens up the door. And, you know, could you imagine, Alan, if by the end of the season, we see some new faces solidify themselves as the ones to beat, and then all of a sudden, those top dogs return and we get to see them face off.
Yeah, we were kind of talking about that, you know, this morning as we get in here. There's a storm brewing in slopestyle right now. You know, all it takes is that opportunity. We've seen it so many times. All of those top established riders we're talking about that made it, they had their breakthrough. Well, them being out in this moment is giving some opportunities for some riders. Well, those guys are going to get healthy, and when it comes back, it's going to be an explosion.
It's going to be insane. We're only a couple hours away from knowing who the winner of the Maxxis Slopestyle in Memory of McGazza 2025 will be, which will also be the only rider who is in the running for the Triple Crown of the 2025 season. If you think about how special that Triple Crown title is, it is very esteemed. It's only been won by 3 people. Nicholi Rogatkin was the first to do it back in 2018, and then you saw Emil Johansson just dominate. How many seasons there were where he did not lose an event? He won the Triple Crown 3 times. And of course, Godziak making it happen last year. Who will be the rider who leaves that possibility alive at the end of today? Well, Chance Moore was riding so well in Christchurch. I believe it was 4th place for him. We had Liam Baylis and Tobey Miley, the next 2 riders down in 5th place and 6th place, earning their wildcard invitations to this event here. We talk about the door being open. Those are a couple of the riders we really see that we're going to be putting under a microscope for their performance today.
Yeah, and just talking about that, those opportunities, getting that wild card, seeing doors open like some of the top competitors not being out there, that is really the opportunity for these guys to come in and really solidify their place within the top level of the diamond sport.
But the biggest name is Kaidan Ingersoll. He was the Red Bull Rookie of the Year, picked up a bunch of new sponsorships over the offseason, and then he won Crankworx Christchurch Summer Series. Patricia Druwen, focusing things over to the women's field. She was the one that everybody was talking about last year, with that being the inaugural season for women on the Crankworx Slopestyle World Tour. Patricia didn't drop into a World Tour stop. The one who capitalized was Robin Goomes. She absolutely had a career season last year.
Yeah, Robin Goomes definitely blowing the doors down. You know, the inaugural season of women's competition here in slopestyle, and she did it. You know, here in her hometown, she took the first one. She carried that momentum through. It was an awesome, awesome season, and we have more new faces on the women's field too, so it's going to be great competition all the way through.
We talk about how consistency is key, and that is exactly the case for Shealen Reno. She was able to rack up enough consistent results. She didn't win an event last season, but she had enough consistency with other riders, you know, having big moments and then faltering on others. She racked up enough points to wrap up the overall. Shealen Reno, she's back out here again today. So we're going to get to see Robin Goomes, Patricia Druwen competing on the same course. Will this finally be the moment that Patricia Druwen rises to the occasion and shows what we all know she's capable of? We got Natasha Miller out there as well, who won Crankworx Christchurch. It is an insanely deep talent pool for both the women and the men.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that is one of the things that I'm really excited to see Patricia out here. We've seen her at the events. Always little ailments, sicknesses, injuries, things that were keeping her from really like kind of accomplishing those things we were expecting, but it's all coming together. The weather's on point tonight. She's been looking really good all day in practice, so I'm really expecting her to come out and really have that explosion.
The riders have been staying warm down here in the Southern Hemisphere to kick off the season. Let's take a look at how their first hits went on this course earlier in the week during practice.
Our first hits are going awesome so far. This is one of those courses where it's almost weird that you're not pushing for the jumps like so much, and you can just fully cruise the course, which is awesome. Loving it.
The course is it's my favorite course of the 3 stops this year. I'm just trying to ride the course as much as possible to get used to it, and then the tricks I will do it later, tomorrow, or whenever I feel good.
I like the spine. It's pretty sick, and like the step down, and then also the wall ride. Super good course. It's like pretty intuitive.
Pretty comfy on course. Course is dialed in. This is kind of a tricky one sometimes to get your run figured out because everything's so trickable. But we're gonna get it together for you guys, and yeah, bangers coming, no doubt.
We talk about Christmas coming early in the sense that we get to watch this competition one day early. That was in large part due to the weather, but we were going to experiment with format out here to start this season as well. There was supposed to be a qualifier and then a final, so we needed to adjust the structure of that qualifier to adapt to going a day early. For more information on that, Bree has some insight.
That's right, we do have a modified format. So qualifier has merged with the final round, and it will be an elimination format. We'll see 15 men battle it out down to 8, and we'll see 8 women battle it down to just 5. Each rider gets 2 runs. The best run counts. It's interesting from a strategy point of view. Will we see riders try and risk it all on that first run so they don't risk elimination?
Thanks, Bree. You know what makes that exciting is we're going to see some of those fresh faces who would have not qualified through the event that was supposed to take place today, and then we're supposed to have finals tomorrow. They're all going to get a chance to drop a finals run. We'll whittle the field down. Those top riders, 8 for the men, 5 for the women, will have a second run, but it's still that best run counts type of format.
Yeah, I mean, it's still going to be a pressure cooker. It's going to be a little bit less pressure, not having to worry about not being in the show because it's a straight to final thing. But strategy is going to come into play. Strategy is something that has, kind of just been like, give it everything you got, send it. But now with having to make this eliminator, get into that final, there's going to be some strategy. And with it being new, everyone's kind of playing it live. So it's going to be exciting to see who can deal with that.
It'll be cool to watch as well. For these run ones, we're going to see a run from everybody, and then we're kind of be keeping an eye on that bubble position. Some of the riders are going to be sitting there going, all right, I'm sitting in position to be able to get called back up to the top of the course again. And then if they get bumped out, their day is done. They're just stuck with that score. The great thing is, as well, the riders who do get called in and are given the opportunity to take a second run, they're still going to have their first run to fall back on. And it's going to be exciting to watch them roll the dice, and only room to grow from there. You can only improve. And room to grow today as well. We're talking about slopestyle, but there's a whole lot more coming today with that schedule shift up. That meant that no matter what type of mountain biking you're a fan of, we've got something for you today. After slopestyle, we're going to have a downhill race.
Yeah, one of the most exciting days in the history of Crankworx, right? We have slopestyle and downhill. The fastest riders in the world, the best riders doing tricks, all of the same day right here in Rotorua. The sun is shining, the wind is low. Man, this is going to be the best day, I think, ever. Probably
one of the most enjoyable days for the fans out here on site live in Rotorua because, it's a Saturday. Hopefully you don't have work today. You can set your alarm early, make sure you catch the slopestyle, and then stick around for downhill. I was talking to some locals later last night, and they were saying their kids are racing, and so they're juggling their schedule. We're going to watch slopestyle, we're going to go race, and then we're going to watch downhill. Of course, cruising around the festival village, checking out all the merch, all the great booths out there, getting signatures from some of your favorite riders. On that note, we gave away a signed Caroline Buchanan jersey yesterday during the Pump Track broadcast. We're going to be giving away another athlete signed jersey today, but there's some stipulations on that from the athlete themselves. Give me some news on that.
Yeah, so, we wanted to make sure we had somebody from the finals giving you their jersey. We had a couple riders put their hands up. Not exactly sure who it's going to be because they want to make sure it's a finals jersey. So they want to make sure it's special for you.
Prestigious jersey out there. Rumor has it, Chance Moore, he's like, all right, I've got a jersey. I will sign that sucker, but I don't want to give somebody my jersey if I'm not riding finals. So he's incentivized himself to make it into that top 8 after run number 1 and make it into that super final run so that he can sign his jersey and send it to somebody. In order to enter yourself to win that jersey, you need to follow at Crankworx, follow at Red Bull Bike, and then throw a comment and tag the name of the athlete who you think is going to win the competition out there today. Fun stuff. Fun stuff for the people on site, fun stuff for the people out there at home joining us a little bit earlier than expected for the Maxxis Slopestyle in memory of McGazza here today. We're moments away from kicking off the action. We've already had the McGazza train looking forward to seeing these runs.
Yeah, speaking of earlier in training, the riders were absolutely throwing down. Having to do this earlier in the morning definitely throws a wrench in the spokes. But, you know, I'm telling you, everybody looks like they're dealing with the pressure. We've seen the biggest moves that people have in their bag of tricks going down on course. So it's going to be a big day out here. Everyone's ready to go. I'm so excited.
We have, yeah, that's right. We have the first rider loaded in the gate now. This is the Maxxis Slopestyle in memory of McGazza, and it starts right now.
So bad, it's a party round here. All I see is gold, get us through my Cardi's round here. Always on top of the money, never tardy round here. Now I'm on top and they love me, keep some shawties round here. And we go pop us some bubbly, cause we going high, yeah.
Well, there's a reason Christmas is coming early today. It's because we looked at the forecast and realized this is the type of day you want to be running a slopestyle competition on this iconic course right here. 5-mile-per-hour wind. We love to see single-digit wind forecast numbers, especially when we're talking miles per hour. Looks like that's 8 kilometers per hour, the wind. Also, with this course being in the woods, you're more sheltered up top than you are at the bottom. As soon as you get down to the bottom for that final McGazza money booter, you want calm winds because you're very exposed down there. This is, if there's a morning for it, this is the one, Alan.
Yeah, it's pretty special day out here in Rotorua, waking up with the sun. We're talking to some of the course builders. They're out here in the dark getting the track prepped. All the riders are ready. You know, it just sort of starts the morning off soft. You don't have any expectations. You're just kind of getting through it. And it's really what kind of takes the pressure off of the day that really allows these riders to build slowly, and it's going to give us a great competition today.
Look how deep the talent field is getting for the women right now. We're going to kick things off with a rider from Poland, Natalia Niedzwiedz. She, if you look at her Instagram, she is capable of insane things. The question is, how many of those big moves that she's capable of is she going to wager on the first run here, knowing that we're only going to be taking the top 5 into that second run? I don't want to, throw any spoilers out there, but if you go and follow her on Instagram, you'll see that she is no stranger to doing double backflips. She does the Masters of Dirt tours, lands double backflips every night on those shows. She was first at the Burrell Bike Fest and first at the Zurich Dirt Contest. She used those results to earn her way here, her first Crankworx World Tour slopestyle appearance for the Polish rider Natalia Niedzwiedz. Here we go, we're underway. Natalia dropping in.
So Natalia dropping in on this huge flat drop right into this left hip. Love this track, so much speed right here. Little shark fin over the roller. This is the big first booter right there. Staying really smooth, so she's just getting an established run in.
Oh, what happened? What's going on?
Yeah, I missed what happened there. There's so much risk going into these runs. You know, one small mistake, it may have just not been worth it to keep going, but
I don't know what's going on. I mean, it's always worth it to keep going, especially with today's format where we're only taking the top 5 from the women into the second runs. What happened?
Yeah, let's see what happened here.
All right, we're cruising over this. She obviously missed trick on it. And then
just didn't get through. Sometimes it could just come down to a feeling, not sure. There's no wind, just comes down to a feeling, maybe a shadow or something just didn't feel right to keep going.
Maybe she hadn't unlocked that feature in practice. Whatever the case, we're gonna move things rolling forward to the next rider in the gate, Renata Wiese from Chile.
My favorite red, white, and blue.
She was 4th at Big White last year, which is a gold event up in British Columbia. This is her first appearance here, the Crankworx Slopestyle World Tour. Obviously, the door opened after that first run from Natalia. Renata, let's see if she can capitalize. Oh, almost not hipping enough on that left-hander.
Yeah, just getting her weight off a little bit on that hip. Able to keep her speed going. Gets a tuck no-hander off the first big trick. Gets a wall ride on the gap, nice and smooth. Couple cranks in off of the cannon log.
At this point, there's 7 riders in the field. We had Mia Moore drop out. You only have to beat 2 riders to make it into that second run right now. Oh, coming up short Renata blowing a foot off the pedal out of the whale tail. That is not going to be a top to bottom run. So it really opens up the door for the 5 riders we have left to go. Next one will be the youngster, only 15 years of age, Zoe Witwicki out of Canada. We're gonna look back at this run, but we know that it was not a top to bottom. Got a trick there, tuck no hander, not the best extension, but
that right there was really smooth coming up and over. And here's where she had a hard time coming up and over the spine. We don't usually see spines on these slopestyle courses, but unfortunately just didn't get enough pump coming into that whale tail down and didn't quite clear it, slipped her pedals, and that was it.
You know, slopestyle is so much different than a dirt jump competition. Obviously, she has a big result at Big White, which is a mega course, but the tricks that you do at home training, to be able to incorporate them into a top to bottom run on a technical slopestyle course like this, that's the name of the game, and that's what's going to separate you from the rest of the field as we roll through now to the 3rd rider to drop. It's going to be Zoe Witwicki, youngster out of Canada, just 15 years old.
As you patiently await a score from Renata Wiese.
So just a reminder on the format, we will be eliminating these fields after the first runs. The women will be cut down to 5, the men down to 8. So yeah, like you were saying, today is the day to make it happen, to get yourself to the bottom.
Which is going to be wild because so often in slopestyle competition, we see riders have issues in run number 1 and we say, all right, well, we're going to look forward to seeing them get back up to the top of the course. But we will drop 2 riders from the women's field. And right now we have 5 more riders to go. No top to bottom complete runs so far, but we're going to continue to ramp things up. Basically reverse order from our highest ranked riders from previous events. Zoe Witwicki now, as I was mentioning, the youngster out of Canada, just 15 years old, dropping in.
Yeah, Zoe looking really smooth so far, catching all the backsides, getting that pump she needs to get over the next obstacles. Nice tuck no-hander right there.
What's on?
Clears the jump, keeps her speed going, up and over the wall ride. Nice off the cannon. There's a little bit of an option on this next obstacle. You can go off that little pad there or around the outside. And here's the spine. This is where we had trouble. Okay, a little bit. She gets the pedal in. Can she get over?
Oh, come on. Just hit the final feature and you're going to be going into the lead. Oh, Zoe just making it over the McGazza money booter. At this point, competition is all about doing the best you can on the day. So if on this day nobody is making it top to bottom so far, Zoe's going to be locking in a score that will put her into the top spot right now. And she just needs to beat at least 2 people to guarantee herself a spot in run number 2. She was 2nd place at Big White, which means she has some serious game on slopestyle. So you got to imagine if we get to see her for run number 2, she's going to be adding some tricks here to this top to bottom run that had plenty of dead sailor, no tricks on it. Obviously just not enough speed for that last jump.
Yeah, I mean, and that's really the situation of the weather we had earlier in the week. You think about the plan. These riders come in, they see a new fresh course. You want to ease into it, so you take it easy on day 1. And what all the riders were saying, day 1 was amazing weather. So you take it easy on that day. And then all of your days leading up to the event of practice gets canceled because of wind. And then now you're here on competition day, you have minimal practice. So some of these riders, top to bottom, is a win.
Can you imagine, 15 years old, all the way down here in New Zealand, competing against the best in the world in slopestyle. You're sitting in first place now. That was a 55.75. Not a big score, but you know what? You only have to beat 2 people in this field of 7 to move into run number 2. And this is a huge moment for the sport right here. Finally, the arrival of Patricia Druwen on the World Tour. Last year, everybody had their money on Patty to take the historic first win, but Robin Goomes capitalized on the opportunity and made history by being the first winner. She also kept things rolling the rest of the season, won Red Bull Rampage.
Yeah, maybe the moment that slopestyle fans have been waiting for a couple of years here. We're going to get to see Patricia Druwen drop in.
I mean, she's got all this support. She's got the Red Bull helmet. She's got the bike sponsor, the tire sponsor, the drivetrain sponsor, the component sponsor, and now she's finally going to be dropping in from the start gate on a World Tour start. She was second to kick off the season at the gold event in Christchurch. Second to Natasha Miller, who's in the field here today. And you know what? She has something to prove now. Let's see it.
Yeah, here we go. Patricia Druwen, nice bunny hop bar spin on the flat drop, straight into a tuck no-hander. That's what she needed to do. Make sure those first obstacles were smooth, and now she's just in the flow.
Oh,
big backflip tuck no-hander.
Get ready for a clinic. This is what we've been waiting for from Patty Druwen.
Straight back on the pedals, keeping her momentum going. Bar spin off the cannon. Long way over the hip. One-handed X up. See what she's got over the spine, keeping her flow. Plenty of speed for the step down. Another suicide no-hander.
A run that is years in the making here. Patty Druwen finishing off this run with a double bar spin. Such a tech combo as the men's field celebrates this banger run out of the young German slopestyle phenom, Patricia Druwen.
A waterfall of pressure coming off of Patricia Druwen's shoulders right now. So awesome to see her stick that run finally on a World Tour stop. Just barely getting that second bar around, coming in off the McGazza money booter.
I feel like the term on another level is appropriate here. This is what we expected to see out of her last season.
Yeah, so smooth on that tuck no-hander backflip. Keeping her speed in, one-handed X up, so much style. I think one of the only obstacles she didn't trick was right here, the spine, where we've seen so many riders having an issue, but keeping her speed, getting a suicide no-hander, dropping down in, and this right here. Watch how close her hands get on the bars and her front wheel gets to the ground. One, catches, two, catches,
so late.
And then boom, right there. At the last second.
Such a dice roll to basically put it all out on the line there, go for a super technical combo. I think a rotation would have even been easier there, like a 360 trick or a flip trick. I feel like it's a dice roll to go for a double bar spin at the end there and risk throwing it all away.
Yeah, bar catch bar too.
Here we go, 87.75. The score for Patricia Druwen. Women's slopestyle is gonna look like that moving forward. And now the rest of the field, it's their turn to elevate their game and try to compete.
Next up, Natasha Miller.
So Natasha Miller was one step above Patricia Druwen at the first time they squared up against each other just a few weeks ago in Christchurch on the Crankworx Summer Series. You see she's running 60 PSI front and rear on those Maxxis Icon tires. High pressure for those of you trail riders out there, but it's all about maintaining speed between these features here. Natasha Miller, let's see if she can better the 87.75 from Patricia Druwen.
Dropping in with the toboggan, gets a bar spin on the hip. She's got hot bars, so watch for some really technical combos. Tuck no-hander, two toboggan, double combo. Oh, gets a wall ride to bar spin off an inward bar spin. That is so hard.
What?
Another double bar spin there.
Was it a bar-to-bar back?
I think it was, yeah.
Oh, she means business. She wants to knock Patty out of this top spot. She tricks the spine.
Tire grab to suicide down.
Come on, Natasha. McGazza money booter. Bar spin, a one-footed can clean.
So clean. One of the things that stand out from that run is she tricked every single obstacle on the way down. Nothing laid up.
What the judges are going to be thinking is, okay, that was a more complete run because she didn't leave any features untricked, but we did have that backflip tuck no-hander, which increased the degree of difficulty in Patty Druwen's run. It was this jump where Patty did the backflip tuck no-hander. We got a tech combo out of Natasha, a tuck no-hander to toboggan, but that tricking out of the wall ride with that bar spin is going to be huge. The bar-to-bar back out of the cannon. That's a tech feature for that trick.
Yeah, absolutely. And then getting the tire grab on the spine to suicide no-hander down the step down. Grabs a couple of cranks, making sure she has the speed. And this bar spin to can-can. Such a technical trick.
I mean, a comparable trick to what Patty did on that last jump as well. Patty did a bar spin combo. Natasha gets a bar spin combo. Natasha tricked absolutely everything, but Patty had a bigger technical trick up top. What are the judges going to do with this? This is really going to set the tone for the rest of the day out here.
Absolutely. Seeing these two diverse runs, this is where the other riders that are still to come have the advantage. They have the opportunity to kind of see what scale the judges are judging on. Where is that importance of actually tricking every single obstacle on the way down going to compare to maybe, maybe 1 or 2 big tricks and just keeping your speed up.
Awaiting the score for Natasha Miller, with the next rider to drop being the defending champion from this event just a year ago, the historic moment when Robin Goomes was the first ever woman to win a Crankworx Slopestyle World Tour stop. But you know what? The game has been elevated with those last 2 runs. The question is, when Robin drops in, who will own the score to beat? Will it be the 87.75 from Patricia Druwen, or will Natasha Miller, with that complete run, will she go into the lead? We're about to find out. 80.5 puts Natasha Miller into second. So they want to see the bangers. It all came down to that backflip no-hander for sure.
Yeah, it was really, really extended when I think she got her hands off. The height was there, the precision was there on the landing. It was perfect for sure.
So Robin Goomes, a rider who doesn't just do slopestyle, she also made history another time last year, being the first woman to win Red Bull Rampage. She spends time on all of her bikes, competing in big mountain freeride events as well as slopestyle, but she's gonna have to elevate her trick game here today. She's recently built a training compound. What has she been working on, Alan?
Yeah, she's been working on a lot of stuff, a lot of flip combos we've been hearing, we've been seeing. Let's see what she's got right here.
That's what she needs to do. Oh!
Big backflip can gets corked out, but is able to hold on to it. Keeps her speed going. That was an amazing recovery right there. Here, what she got off the cannon.
Nice.
One-handed X up. Getting the hip right there, what she got on the spine, keeping her speed up on the step down.
If she can rotate on this final jump as well, things might get interesting. Here we go, she goes for the flip, perfect.
So 2 flips in 1 run right there. You see her head going up a little bit right there. Maybe not exactly what she wanted, a little bit of improvisation.
Putting the pressure on the judges here.
Yeah, that flip can got so corked out, she was able to spot her landing and really muscle the bike back in straight. Let's take a look at it right here. Yep, the back end starts to come around. Able to keep it straight. That was amazing recovery.
It's so key for Robin to get a variation in that backflip, because that's where the level is right now. We had Patty Druwen take her hands off while upside down in her run, but Robin goes upside down twice in this run. So how will the judges weigh this against the absolutely spotless and clean run from Natasha Miller with no rotations, or the 87.75 current hot seat run from Patty Druwen, where she maybe missed a few of the features, but she did get a big flip combo.
Yeah, it's where this is, when the competition is this tight, that's when the technicalities of the judging really come through. They look at things like amplitude, that's how high they're going off the jump. Execution, how much extension they're getting, how perfect they're landing on the jump. Are they having to pedal between jumps, keeping their momentum going just from landing perfect? All those little technicalities are going into the judges, and that's why we're waiting for this score right now.
That's what we're looking at right now. That is the judges' room there. Best view in the house, way up on top of this scaffolding structure. Well, the most consistent rider from the inaugural season for the women on the Crankworx World Tour of Slopestyle was this rider here, who will be the next to drop, Shealen Reno from the United States. Score coming in for Robin Goomes. She goes into 3rd place, 75.25. You know what, I was thinking about it. The trick she did on the last jump, it was a rotation which made her have 2 backflips in her run, but also, I don't know, those double bar spins and those bar spin 1-footed cans, those are more tech on the final jump. So the judges rewarding the tech tricks. The consistent rider here, Shealen Reno, the World Tour champion from the overall last year. Can she continue the consistency here, starting off the World Tour season? Her first run, Shealen Reno.
Nice 1-footed seat grab table on the hip right there, Shealen. You can tell she's confident wearing those full white kit right there. Nice no-footer over the big booter. Gets the wall ride, keeping her momentum. Coming off the cannon. Tuck no-hander. Nice, getting the trick off. Knack on the hip.
A lot of people missing tricks on that feature too.
and managing to keep her speed down the step down right there. What she got on this last jump.
Oh, the pendulum!
Oh, hold on right there.
If you don't have the big rotations like some of the riders in the field where you're going to need to get super tech with those combos, the pendulum there in the final feature, no-footed cans both directions, kind of a freestyle motocross derived trick. So definitely a similar approach to what we saw in 2024 from Shealen Reno. Tricks like this, no footer, it's great to check that box, but it's not on the same level as some of the tricks we're seeing on that feature.
Yeah, definitely. We know Shealen, she's got, you know, her training compound out there in Texas. She travels the world and rides all of her competitors' training compounds. We've seen some big tricks out of her, so it's just getting comfortable, getting this season rolling. I definitely expect some more big tricks out of her.
That's what she does best, is trick absolutely everything with tricks that you don't see a lot of the riders in the field do. She's gonna get docked for not cleanly getting those feet back onto the pedals on that pendulum.
A little bit of a tank slapper there.
For me, I'm wondering if that's gonna be good enough to slot into top 3 position. You know it's gonna be good enough to keep her in that top 5.
Which is the mark.
There you go, you gotta imagine. Yep, there it is, 67.5, putting her in 4th place. She's safe to secure herself a spot into run 2, meaning we will basically drop Natalia Niedzwiedz and Renata Wiese, and we'll see Zoe, Patricia, Natasha, Robin, and Shealen into our 2nd run when we trim the field down to 5. What does this mean, man? This means we're gonna move things over to the men.
Yeah, definitely. You know, looking at how that ended up, you wonder, is that strategy out of Shealen? You know she's got more in the bag. We'll see how it goes. Just cutting in there, making it in 4th.
Well, big iconic moment. Finally seeing a big T to B from Patricia Druwen. Bree is standing by with Patty. Let's hear it, Bree.
Yes, I'm here with our current leader, Patricia Druwen. Patty, we have been waiting for this moment for quite some time. That was so technical. Did that go the way you hoped?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't hear you.
Did that run go the way that you had hoped?
Yeah, I didn't. So I landed around what I wanted. It's like even more, and I'm super stoked with it. I had super much, like I struggled a lot with the course during the week because it was so windy. I didn't have enough speed for the course, but I'm stoked to finish my run what I wanted, and yeah. Stoked to be here after one long year.
There has been so much hype about you. I mean, how did you handle the pressure coming into today?
I just try to don't make me much pressure. I just think it's a trainings run, have fun at my run, and just chill.
And you gave us a clinic. I'm wondering, have you got anything else for run 2?
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure yet. Maybe some more bar spins or whatever. I don't know yet.
Well, you're in the lead. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, the only gap in Patty's skill set the past season was just the mental game, just getting up there in the start gate and deciding to go for that run. To see it come together right here and drop such a spotless, well-executed run that looks like a film segment when you watch it in slow motion. Even the miss trick there is just great style, airing over the spine, and then perfection on things like that suicide out of the lip down, and then really rolling the dice with that double bar spin. Will we see Patty Druwen grabbing her first Crankworx Slopestyle World Tour gold medal here today? The rest of the field will have another chance to knock her off that top spot.
Yeah, I think she's got the mental side figured out. You know, talking with Bree there, she says she did more than she even planned. So she's improvising on the way down because she's feeling comfortable. That's pretty cool.
Well, it'll be interesting to hear what you think at home. What are your favorite type of tricks? The ones where people are getting upside down, sideways, and backwards? The one where they're just flexing their dexterity and doing tricks opposite? Or is it the off-axis spins, the bar spin variations, which we saw a lot of from those runs from the women? Type a number into the chat to vote. We're curious what you like to see because you're going to see all of it here with run number 1 from the men. We've got a field of, as the cookie has crumbled, 15 men we're going to take to the start gate this morning. And then we're going to eliminate all but 8 for that second run. I'm really excited to see Kaidan Ingersoll on a World Tour stop, Nobody trains as hard as this kid, and guess what? This may be the guy to beat this entire season. We're about to find out.
You can feel the excitement here in Rotorua on the McGazza course. Some first runs on a World Tour event right here for these first couple riders.
Well, the first rider to drop is going to be Liam Baylis. He earned his spot into this event through a 5th place finish at an insanely high level competition just a few weeks ago. Crankworx Summer Series in Christchurch. The Canadian making dreams come true here. Whoa! Whoa. Starting out strong.
Backflip, bar spin, bunny hop right there. 360 downside whip, well, 270 downside whip with a bar into it. Double backflip on the first big booter. What's he got on the wall ride? Inward bar out, up off the cannon. Opposite 360. Off the pad, was that a nose bonk to one-handed X-up, I think. Toboggan on the spine. Big nosedive 3-whip, landing perfect, keeping his momentum. Oh, big Indian Air super seat grab. Oh, so man. Much style right there. Baylis top to bottom. You can see the pressure rolling off his shoulders.
How ridiculous is that? At the top of the show, we're talking about the riders we're not going to see. And then we see a new rider who's basically taking all the best attributes from some of those riders and showing he has what it takes to be here. That was an insane run to start out with.
Yeah, the first 2 jumps was absolutely insane, rolling straight into a double backflip, not letting up the entire way down. Nose bonk to one-handed X-up, got some steez, showing some diversity here. Toboggan on the spine. And that 360 tail whip on the step down. So important to land perfect, which he does, keeping his momentum for this.
I feel like Fedco's watching this run going, oh, somebody's been studying my footage. Oh, how in the world did he keep that left foot on the pedal? And you know what? With the level of competition out here today, that is insanely important. Keeping his foot on the pedal on that final trick may be the difference between being on the podium or not.
Yeah, Liam got to be absolutely stoked with that run.
Oh,
see a little warm up there, a little visualization, getting the gyro warmed up.
No way. Okay, so you just saw that run from Liam Baylis. Bearing in mind that rider placed 5th at an event that this next rider won. Are we going to see the level cranked up even higher? To see Kaidan Ingersoll, knowing what he's capable of, the fact that he's capable of winning this competition today in his first World Tour stop, to see him drop so early, it's gonna really put the pressure on those highest ranked riders who will be dropping last. But this right here from Liam, a score that could stand up all day in the first run of the competition. Talk to me about how tech that flat drop backflip bar spin is to kick off this run.
Okay, let's just talk about backflips. How you do a backflip is you use the transition right here. Watch how you go up. That transition sets your rotation, and how hard you pull is how fast that rotation is going to be. That flat drop at the top, there's no transition to get the momentum rolling. You have to use all of your upper body strength and bunny hop backflip off of a complete blind drop. And somehow he did that with a bar spin.
Okay, we're about to find out what the score is. It's a 78.25. The judges leaving a lot of room because they know the insanity that's about to ensue. Riders like that guy right there, Nicholi Rogatkin, who has taken this rider under his wing since the age of 8. 10 years separating Kaidan Ingersoll and Nicholi Rogatkin. They train together bi-coastal, depending on what time of year. They have training compounds on the East Coast and the West Coast. Kaidan Ingersoll coming off the big gold medal in Christchurch. Here we go. Historic moment. Kaidan's first World Tour Crankworx start.
Looks like a double truck off the drop there. Corked 810. That's an over-rotated cork 720. Coming into the big booter. Backflip, double tail whip. Wall ride bar spin off, keeping his speed up the cannon. This is going to be huge.
No way!
Truck to downside tail whip. Opposite 360 invert. Regular 360 invert, so really creative. Backflip. Oh, come on! on. Not going to be enough speed for his last jump. What's he going to do?
What?
He goes for it anyways. How did he do it? I wrote him off. There's no way that just happened.
Oh, man.
Kaidan, I apologize for riding you off. I do not know how you got the speed. I am sorry. That was amazing.
There's a point in every sport where somebody checks all the boxes. Right there, that is the time in the gym to be able to land that bad and still get not only enough speed for the last jump, but to do a 360 double downside tail, knowing that if he had more speed, it would have been a triple.
Yeah, the fact that he was able to do that is a testament to just the fact that Kaidan's doing all of the right things right now on and off of the competition course.
How crazy is this? You got the youngsters who watch riders like Emil Johansson. With Emil not in the field today, it's like, well, Kaidan's doing a lot of the stuff we would see Emil doing if he were to be here.
Yeah, how did he, those pedals right there. I wish he had a power meter. I want to know the wattage. I want to know the wattage on those pedals.
And he's even clean on that. I don't know how he didn't crash. Like, we're talking about how floored we are that he had enough speed for that last jump, but how did he not crash out of the whale tail?
That was awesome.
This is why these two riders are relentless in the off season. Train, train, train. So when you get punched in the face, you can make it happen. Bree's standing by with Kaidan Ingersoll.
Kaidan, that was such a crazy run, your Crankworx debut. How did you not crash then?
Yeah, I think I want to be here my entire life. I've watched all the guys, like all these legends for so long. And I don't know, I just, when I did the flip whip, I was like, you know what, I'm going for it. This is Crankworx, whatever, you don't give up, you push through, doesn't matter. Ricky Rogatkin would do the same, and that's why I did that, so let's go.
You've been training with Nicholi Rogatkin since you were 8 years old. What's it like to be now competing with him?
A literal dream, yeah. I can't really put it into words. It's just surreal. I can't believe I'm here. Can't believe I saved that. Let's go, I don't know. First time here, you get what you get sometimes.
Congratulations, good luck.
Thank you.
And what you get is an 84, which is the highest score of the day so far here. That's run number 2 of 15. What in the world is going on here? The Maxxis Slopestyle in memory of McGazza.
Yeah, we're going to need to keep an eye on that score, 84, and see where it lines up. Remember, we're going to be eliminating riders. We're only taking 8 to those final runs. So Kaidan Ingersoll did save that, but is it going to be enough to get him in?
Yeah.
Lucas Skiöld, the Swedish rider now, having to drop in after that ridiculous performance.
Gets that truck driver off the flat drop, downside double tail whip right there. Keeping his momentum as he got on this big jump. Double backflip, such a slow rotation, spotting that landing. Wall ride bar spin, popular trick off of the wall. I believe that was a double truck.
Double bar spin or double truck on that walk-in.
Training partner and close friend to Emil Johansson, who's going to be watching this from home right now. Going for the 3-whip out of the lip down. Squirrely as well, but after watching Kaidan push through, Lucas goes for it as well, salvaging a suicide no-hander off that final jump.
Yeah, after watching Kaidan's run, anything is possible in that flat bottom.
Jeez.
But yeah, unfortunately, he just looked like maybe his pedals spun a little bit when he kicked for the 3-whip. They just weren't where he expected coming in. We'll get a replay on that.
The tricks we're seeing out of that, we're calling it the whale tail. It's really a spine into a lip down, but the tricks we're seeing are tricks that we would typically see reserved for jumps like this mid-course. Lucas going for the double backflip on that trick booter.
1, 2 bar spins with a 360 off of the cannon. And that's where things started getting a little bit sketchy there. You could tell he wanted more on the hip. 360 X up on the spine. And watch the pedals. As he kicks, they look solid. Gets his foot right there. Yeah, just missed his pedal. His front end was a little high, so his outside rotation foot was a little slow getting on the pedal. And by the time his bike landed, his foot was not ready to go.
So at this point, we're not wondering if Lucas Skiöld is going to move into the lead. That obviously wasn't as spotless of a run as even the second place run from Liam Baylis. So Lucas Skiöld really focusing his sights now and hoping that this run is good enough to stay in the top 8. It really comes down to what the rest of the field has to say about it. 64.5 for Skiöld.
Let's talk mental game, Cam. Like, you don't know what's going to happen, right? You don't know where your score is going to land. Usually you're going to go up to the top and start figuring out what your second run is, but you know, is there going to be a second run? So strategy's coming into play already.
Wow, I look purple. Holy fuck.
Tobey Miley, another rider who earned his spot into this event from the Summer Series event in Christchurch. Tobey placed 6th in that event. And here we go, he's dropping in. Ooh, taking the rider's left option now.
Yeah, hard to see what happened there. Shadows were bad. Looked like a flip bar spin. Oh, nice. Corked out 720 to an opposite. Corked out 720. A little of rotation, but able to hold on to it. Tail him all the way up and over the wall ride.
Hey, some creativity here in this run.
Backflip off the cannon, super technical. Nose bonk to tuck no hander. Nose dive 360 on the spine, 360 tail whip.
Oh, he's clean.
He's super clean, front end coming in first.
We're gonna finally see somebody with speed on the McGazza money booter and a big double backflip to capitalize this run.
That massive lip creates such a slow rotation on that McGazza money booter. I think I hold my breath a little bit every time I see one.
This is one of my favorite riders in the field because he kind of steps outside of what you're expecting and he surprises you. A backflip bar spin coming out of that lip down feature. This is reminiscent of an old run from Brett Reeder here on this course, cork 7ing that jump, but the fact that he here linked it into the opposite cork 7, also reminiscent of something we would have seen in days of yesteryear from riders like Brett Reeder.
All the way up and over that wall ride, so getting creative with simplicity, I love it. Off the cannon, that's also another challenge. That cannon has no transition, so that is hard to get that flip momentum going.
Those always score high.
We've seen a lot of riders do 3-whips on the step down.
None of them landing it clean though.
A few of them not able to make it happen.
So this is what it looks like when a rider in the men's field final here has speed for the McGazza money booter. It's the first time we've seen it so far in the first 3 riders, and he double flips his way into the finish corral on a successful first run for Tobey Miley. Big question now, where will it score? Will it shake up the podium? Will it be high enough to keep him in the top 8 at the end of these first 15 runs here before we trim the field down? Judges knowing how important this is. Usually it's just like, all right, well, it's important because the points are on the line. It's important because these riders are fighting for the podium. But right now, to keep their hopes alive at a run 2, the judges have to really carefully dissect the numbers they're going to assign to these runs.
Yeah, so many riders of strategy, you know, using that first run to really just sort of build a foundation on the day and how it's going to go. You know, making sure you get a run you know you're going to pull, and then you build from that. But knowing that there will be eliminations is so tough.
Let's kind of think about what the judges are going through right now. Not only are they having to score this run, but they have to, a little bit of apples to oranges here. The fact that we have 2 line options. Last year was the first year that we saw 2 options on this course, but the men did not compete. So this is the first time we're going to be putting the judges really through their paces at this venue with line options. It really comes down to just how you rode it. I feel like there's not one line that's an A line, one line that's a B line. It's just a couple other options to really spread your wings and play toward your strengths here with that rider's left option. Really opens up the door to have 2 complementary tricks on the second and third features, though, if you go that rider's left option. I think a really heavy moment that we see Peter Henke and Brett Frew reviewing is probably going to be that cork 7 to opposite cork 7. That's a heavy link.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, to do both of those tricks in a run is tough, but to back that increases the level of difficulty. You see right there with a run score of 75, so into 3rd place right there.
So respectable 75. Ooh, we got Chance Moore coming up. This is a rider who climbed the ranks on the Gold Series to earn his spot into the World Tour. His first World Tour spot in Austria. He knocked the door down with a 5th place in Innsbruck. And then to start this season, it was a 4th place in Christchurch. Unfortunately, we did not see him drop into Joyride last year, so we've only seen him on 1 World Tour stop. Here we go, his 2nd World Tour appearance. Starting out strong with a clean cork 720 out of the lip down. He's going rider's left.
Yeah, big backflip tail whip right there, transferring a little bit, but did not affect him. Double tail whip 360 right there, landing right on the top of the landing. Struggling for speed a little bit, but looks like he's recovered.
No way!
Front flip bar spin off the cannon. Opposite 360 invert, looking really good on the bottom half of the course. Truck on the spine. Front flip completely blind on the whale tail. What does he have?
What do we got? Double backflip, pop, hold around. Yeah.
Massive double backflip. Perfect execution. Making that rider's left line look so good right there.
Chance Moore hugging Lucy Van Easteren and Eric Fedko here in the finish corral. This run was fully pinned right out of the start gate, kicking things off with the cork 7 out of the lip down, kissing the side of the landing here with that backflip tail whip.
Yeah, transferring a little bit accidentally on that, but just staying focused, getting cranks in, keeping the momentum going.
Come on.
That front flip bar spin off of the cannon. Now front flips, people, when you're doing a front flip, it's completely blind. All you can see is your stomach. And a step down is blind. So double blind front flip off the whale tail right there. Spots the landing at the last second, both tires down, and brings that speed all the way into the money booter. Watch the front tire right here on the landing. Boom. Perfect rotation.
Perfect. Oh, man. Yeah, you know what this guy is? This is a top 5 rider every day of the week. He was top 5 in his first World Tour appearance, top 5 in the gold event a couple weeks ago. And that run right there is going to be battling it out with the best of them in this field of 15 here in run number 1. I mean, I'm trying to think, was there any bobbles in that?
I mean, it was pretty clean from top to bottom.
They'll be looking for small things that work quite perfect in the run, but man, these runs have just been incredible.
Chance, it's only your 2nd appearance. How was that from your perspective? And tell me about that blind front flip.
Oh, that was it was lots of fun. I've been practicing that one at home, so to bring it out is always a good time. Got a little loose up after the 3 double whip, but had a great time. Loving it.
What's the plan for run number 2?
Depending on where I sit, I'm gonna give it to you guys, so let's get it.
Well done, best of luck.
Thank you.
So Chance Moore made it known this morning that he's super down to give you all his competition jersey today signed, but he was only gonna do it if he earned it. He wanted to make it into the 2nd run, AKA the top 8. This run right here, I got a feeling is enough to do it, but it all depends on what the rest of the field does. If you want his stinky jersey after this insanely stomped spotless run, make sure you follow at Crankworx, follow at Red Bull Bike, and drop a tag of the rider you think is going to win the competition out here today. Could be in the women's field, could be in the men's field. And we'll send somebody a signed jersey from Chance Moore.
Yeah, I think you might need to say bye to that jersey, Chance.
Yeah, pretty sure that
that was a nice run.
As good as gone.
How do I get Eric in here?
So much pressure down at the bottom, just waiting to see how it's all going to shake up.
So, thinking back to that run, sometimes it all comes at you so fast. You forget some of the big moments. You forget some of the bobbles. Do you recall any bobble in that run?
I personally did not, but he called himself out, and he said on that 3 whip, he got a little loose. So when he did show the replay, he did land a little bit back tire on top of the landing and was struggling a little bit for speed. He recovered so smooth, and look, there's his score right there.
Come on, 81.25, slotting Chance Moore into 2nd place.
So maybe the judges didn't see that, or his recovery was smooth enough it didn't matter.
Basically just has to beat only 2 more riders in the field here to secure himself a spot into the top 8. But Jake Atkinson is going to have something to say about this. He was 3rd in Christchurch. He's all warmed up and ready for this run right now.
Oh, little off-axis cashy right there.
Super creative trick choice on that hip.
Backflip, tail whip, on the big jump. What's he got? He's going on the wall ride. Bar spin off. Keeping his momentum off of Buchanan. Triple truck driver. Nose to bar off, so looking really good. Tricking every obstacle.
Way.
3-whip in on the step down. What's he got? Double tail whip down. Perfect landing. He's got the momentum.
What's he got, Alan?
Boom, huge cashy.
Are you kidding me as well? We're right behind him with that FPV drone. Mid-casserole exclamation point at the end of that sentence. Tackled by Kaidan Ingersoll.
He missed a pothole coming out of the finish corral. That's all right, you can crash after the run. The judges were looking at their score sheets.
I mean, the way this whole run was filmed as well, I felt like I was watching a video part right there. This right here, that is a super ballsy trick choice for a 90-degree left hip.
Yeah, having to just kind of be lazy on the rotation part of that trick because he's not quite doing a full rotation with the hip.
So Alan, the years on the BMX bike, obviously triple truck off of the cannon, but once we get into these wood features here, the spine into the lip down, the years on the BMX bike for Jake really paying off.
Yeah, showing a lot of confidence on this spine right here, doing a massive 3-whip. Look at his back tire landing all the way at the top, perfect speed, able to double tail whip out.
To up the ante on such a high consequence feature like that spine has to be rewarded.
And then here, watch the tires. This is where execution is looked at right there. A little under rotated. You see him shaking his head. He wanted maybe a little bit smoother, but man, that was a nice run.
So your thoughts, getting into the head of the judges here. We often talk about the fact that the judges want to see variety in trick choice. There are 2 cash rolls in there, but I'm thinking about the features those tricks were done on. They're different features, so do you view that as a repeat or as a good dose of variety?
I think with the way that, you know, that first one was on the hip, the level of technicality, I think it sort of eliminates it as a double trick because they're really, the technicalities are completely different with what those tricks were.
Score to beat, Kaidan Ingersoll is 84. We're awaiting the score from Jake Atkinson here in his first run. To remind you all, we're trimming the field down to 8. The only riders to get a second run in this 2-run best score counts format will be the top riders from run number 1. Where will Jake slot in here to the leaderboard? Score coming in. Jake Atkinson out of the UK scoring a 79.25, moving into 3rd place. Just ahead of Liam Baylis there. Think about how good that run was to kick things off Liam Baylis, and now it's just getting knocked down, all the way down to 4th at this point.
Yeah, riders down in that 4th and 5th position are definitely, you know, doing their math, trying to figure out who's coming next.
So it's going to be Alex Alanko, the rider who was 8th at Joyride, the last World Tour stop we had from Whistler back in July. He has been on a podium all the way back in 2019. He climbed the ladder to get back onto the World Tour. Here he is to kick off his season.
Yeah, Alex having a little bit of an issue. He's been struggling with back spasms all week. Just trying to make it happen here, keep some points, but looking really good right there. Backflip bar spin to can-can, I think that was. Getting a wall ride, looking really smooth. So we might not be seeing the best out of him, but looking smooth. Little chill, downside, one hand, one footer. Knack on the spine. So yeah, just kind of like laboring a little bit with that back injury, doing what he can, trying not to make it worse.
Alex Alanko, backflip bar spin to finish things off. The fact that he's dropping in, dealing with all those issues you just spoke about, super impressive, and it's kind of crazy. That's what it takes on this World Tour. As soon as you pull yourself off of the start list and guarantee no points toward your overall, it's really easy to fall off tour. This is a rider who has fallen off tour and then earned his way back on. Never an easy game to play.
Yeah, so he knows what it takes to earn your way into these runs. He's not going to give it up. That goes back to a conversation I think you and I were having last night at dinner. You know, talking about, you know, having to do a perfect run or learning how to ride with an injury, having to manage your body throughout a full season, you know, where that expectation is. It's such a tough game. Like, do you go out if you can't do your absolute best? Or
you do
it's the best on that day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a situation a lot of these riders find themselves in, and you got to give credit there to Alex Alanko, pushing through the pain, getting a score in the books. Alex Alanko at this point with that run, hoping to be in the top 8 after these 15 runs here in run number 1.
Bara under steppdagen. Alltså det är så här, jag kör dit upp ner liksom.
Yeah, so 8 more riders to go. Top 3 would lock him in, but 7th right there.
Can't afford to get beat by any more than one rider, and we've got an insane cast of characters coming up. Tom Isted, Max Fredriksson, Ben Thompson, Griffin Paulson, Paul Couderc, Nicholi, Lucas Huppert, and Tim Bringer is who we have left. But right now, next rider to drop is going to be Tom Isted. And let me tell you a little bit of a story about Tom Isted. He either gets on the podium or he doesn't get a run. Those have been the statistics the past couple seasons. Last season, didn't get a single run. But the last time he did, guess where he ended up? 3rd place. That was Joyride 2023. Are we going to see an absolute banger here from Tom Isted? He is due.
Big corked flip off of the flat drop, straight into a corked 810, an over-rotated cork 720, carrying really, really great speed right here into the twister.
Yo, no, come on! That is the trick that's been taking him out. That trick is the reason why he did not land a single run last season. And the saga continues.
The twister is a corked out off axis 1080, 3 full rotation spin. Not what Tom Isted wanted.
Ah, man, more of the same here. At some point, you know, some riders would think, okay, maybe I'm going to take the twister out of my run since statistically speaking, oh, jeez. Of course, Tom Isted doing it for the fans, rolling through the finish line. Double flip for the people. You know what? It's all or nothing for this guy, though. He's not going to just trim down that trick to a standard cash roll just to get a score in the bank.
Let's look and see if we
himself.
can see what happened right there.
Under row.
Yeah, just a little bit under rotated on the flip or the off axis portion right there. Spun around, but you see his back tire landing first. He needed to be maybe about 5 or 10 more degrees to be able to drop that shoulder and lean in.
Ah, the thing that's so brutal is with today's format, a format we've never seen before, if you don't land a run, you're not getting into position to get a second run.
Thank you, darling.
That is frustrating for Tom Isted because the way he strategizes these things is, you know, the banger run and 2 chances to get it. Not with today's format adjustment.
What can you do?
What are you gonna do?
So he's in 8th place right now on the bubble. Not where you want to be with the cast of riders yet to come.
Especially when you see Max Fredriksson, next rider to drop. If Max Fredriksson puts it to the finish corral, Tom Isted will not be taking a second run. And there's a high probability that will be the case. A rider who was on the podium with a 3rd place to finish last season at Joyride. Here we go, Max Fredriksson out of Sweden.
Very technical drop-in right there. Nollie, 360 invert, backflip, double tail whip. So Max looking really strong. Wall ride to tuck, no hander right there. Off the cannon.
No way.
Oh, triple combo.
Getting greedy with these combos.
Nose bump to suicide. Spinning both directions into the bunny booter. What's he gonna have on the last jump?
Needs a big one here. Gets it. 360 bar spin to tail up straight to pedals for Max Fredriksson.
Awesome, awesome run from Max right there. And you were talking about it on the podium in Joyride in 2024. So one of those riders that can sort of see the doors opening with some of those other established riders that are not here today. An opportunity to take a step up on that podium.
Trademark run there for Max Fredriksson, a rider who typically spends the long Swedish winters training hard in the gym, in the skate park, just recently built his own skate park. And the tricks that he chooses in these runs, they require so much seat time to be able to stomp under pressure here.
Yeah, the technicality was over the top on this run, spinning multiple directions. Triple and quadruple combos like right there, a backflip, double tail whip. And that right there, spinning both directions while spinning the bars.
When you think he's done, he sneaks in another variation. and does not throw it away on the final feature. Rolls the dice, and the dice come up favorable. 360 bar spin to tail whip. Max Fredriksson returned to form. A rider who had 4 thirds and kind of went into a tough patch for a while, then back to the podium last year at Joyride. And what will the score be for this run here today? Will it be enough to crack into top 3? You know it's going to be enough to have him seated nicely within that top 8. 6 more riders to go, and heavy hitters they are.
Yeah, look at
Whale
the
job. You're paying attention. Max is always looking so clean. So true.
Took the words right out of my mouth. That is one of the things that the judges will be looking at, the perfection and the execution, where he's landing on the landings, the extension, how much speed he has.
You got it. Well, we know for sure that Tom Isted will be relegated to the sidelines now that Max Fredriksson stomped this run. Big question is, where's it going to place him, and how will that affect the rest of these riders who are really targeting those top 8 spots in order to make it into run 2?
I like that he's getting impatient. He's like, come on, judges, the time, I'm ready.
Kaidan Ingersoll, the score to beat, an 84. Max needs to better a 79.25 to move into top 3 contention.
Let's talk a little bit about that top score, 84. So it wasn't perfect out of Kaidan. You know, we saw that, you know, big mistake on that whale tail landing, but the fact that he was able to keep it going, that's something that is not really a criteria, the perseverance or the ability to make it happen. It does count.
Well, with this, you know, the way slopestyle is judged, he got docked heavily for that error after the backflip tail up out of the lip down. He was able to salvage with that 360 double downside whip, but think about what he could do in run number 2. He could clean up that flip whip, and he could stomp a 360 triple downside whip, which is what we saw him doing in practice. So imagine what the score would be for that.
Yeah, you said he laid up by doing a 360 downside tail whip. I think that's a bit of an oxymoron.
So it sounds like the judges are taking their time with this one because they're trying to figure out, does this slot into second place? Does it slot into third place? We're getting a little insight from the judges booth here. We know it's narrowed down. Oh no, goes into 4th place, 78.92. As Max's gears start turning about what he's gonna have to do to break into the 80s.
A little bit of a golf clap there out of Max, maybe expecting a little more.
Well, what that tells me is the judges want bangers as well as those technical combos. Here we go, Ben Thompson. We talked about him a lot at the top of the show, the Squamish-based rider. He was 7th at Joyride last year. Whoa, dropping a hammer right out of the gate.
Diving straight in with the front flip to 450 double downside tail whip. Superman seat grab backflip. Ben getting in as an alternate here. 7th place in Christchurch. 7th place in Red Bull Joyride in 23. Looking really good. Nose bonk to tail whip. Flipping the spine. Double truck down the whale tail. Plenty of speed. What's he gonna do?
Yeah! Ben finishing this run off with a truck to downside whip. Man, he's getting so consistent.
Yeah, such an opportunity for here to reestablish himself on the World Tour.
I've never felt so weird up there before.
Oh no, listen in. Here to say I've never felt so weird up there before. It's probably because you knew you're gonna take 2 pedal strokes and then lunge forward into a front flip off a flat drop. What a way to start that run.
Yeah, a couple years ago, you and I had the chance to ride this course. I could not imagine diving off of that flat drop. Superman seat grab backflip right there. Perfect extension.
Love it. He could have got it. Come on, we're gonna give him perfect extension on that. We love ourselves some Ben Thompson, but we know he can do it a little bit better than that.
I just got excited because I like that trick.
It's both of our favorite trick to watch.
Right there, nose bonk to downside tail whip off of that pad. That is unbelievably technical.
I think the variety is where it's at for this run.
Yeah.
We're about to find out how heavy the judges are weighing variety.
and then flipping the spine, where we've seen a lot of riders focused on keeping that momentum, because that whale tail has been a challenge coming down into the money booter, but he did not lay up. Flipping in, tricking out.
Riders knowing how much it matters whether you slip a pedal or not, knowing that so much of your score banks on the ability to keep your feet on the pedals if you come up a little bit short on that final jump. Ben came up a little bit short. You saw that left foot kind of levitate a little bit, but he held it right above the pedal, so it landed right back on it.
On the start list and then delivered that run, so that...
The crowd loving the sunshine out here, getting that morning tan.
He's bet on himself, and it's paid off. So congratulations to Ben Thompson on an incredible performance.
Ben, you got in as an alternate. Tell me about that run.
Oh man, that was tough. I've never had feelings like that up there before. It's been a tough few days, not too much practice, but the boys, they pulled it together, and I'm stoked. I'm happy to make one down, and hopefully that was enough for the top 8. We'll see.
You started so strong, and there was so much variety in that run. Do you think the judges are going to reward you for that variety?
I hope so. Yeah, there was a couple little sketchy moments, but we'll see. We'll see.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Don't tell the judges that. You're live over the PA, Ben. Tell them it was spyless. Don't tell them what to look for.
Yeah,
it's a gentleman's game, though.
Yeah, honesty is sometimes the best policy.
No, I actually just stopped everything clean. It was the best run of the day, and I can't wait to see the judges give you first place.
On camera manifestation.
Ben Thompson, what a rider, man. I love to watch the tricks that he chooses out there. He can mix it up, do things a little bit different. Hammers like the front flip off the top drop. And then, style tricks like that backflip Superman seat grab. Right now, the rider on the bubble is Alex Alanko. He's currently sitting in 8th place.
Cam, you ever do any flat drop front flips?
Only into water.
I've seen you do a lot of front flips. I'm scared of it.
I've done them into water, into foam, so I understand how it feels. But the consequence, if you come up short at all, you just keep on going. Here we go. No way! Ben is so fired up here. Moving into 2nd place. 82.92. Well, I guess we know that the judges will reward variety, and Alex Alanko will not be taking a second run as he gets bumped out of that bubble position of 8th place. Alex Alanko down to 9th as we welcome Griffin Paulson into the start tower with the traditional Waharoa carvings. As per usual, Griffin Paulson, 5th place at Joyride last year. Here we go, on course.
He's going riders left, big front flip, bar spin to get it started. Double backflip, nosing it in, just getting that rotation around.
Whoa, come on, Griff.
Getting the front flip off, maybe managing his speed a little bit. All right, driver off of the cannon.
He's taking a breath, he's refocused, big flip tuck no-hander.
Flipping the spine, technical there.
No way.
Backflip tail, stomps it perfect. Come on, Griffin.
Alan. Come on. Yeah.
It goes for the twister. Absolutely nails it.
No way.
That is a corked out 1080. That was the trick that Tom Isted was going for, our first twister of the day.
No chill. There is no chill in that run.
That's another rider that I think was really needing that top to bottom stomp. That was one of the most solid runs I've seen Griffin pull. He has got to be fired up. Most likely stamping.
Oh, it was a fronty bars to start it off. Oh my. This is insane. Look, he barely gets over the landing. Look, he's transferring. There's a bit of a hip on that jump. Look at him, he goes deep here too.
Yeah,
and sideways.
Every push-up he's ever done paid off right there on that double backflip, able to keep it going.
This is insane. Okay, as we're approaching the final feature here.
That was sick right there. The backflip tuck no-hander.
It was
on the hip.
Big amplitude as well.
And on the spine.
Okay, look at his eyes. Look at this huge trick. We saw Kaidan mess this one up. Perfect for Griffin, and he could have done a cash roll here. That could have gotten him into the top 8, but he says, no way. I want to get my twister to cap this run off. That's a dream run there for Griffin Paulson.
Yeah, remember, if this does move into the top 8, that first run score is going to count. So he just laid it all down.
He needs to better a 64 to secure himself in the top 8 bubble so far. I can guarantee you he's going to have a higher score than that.
Yeah, and 84 is going to be that top spot. Let's see what he can do. Man, that was such a solid run. He checked all the boxes, the execution, the amplitude, maybe even a little bit of improvisation there when he landed low and under-rotate on that double flip. Sometimes when you have a front flip, that's like a go-to trick if you're low on momentum because you're lunging forward. But man, it looked so perfect.
Griffin, that looked like an absolute dream run, finishing with a twister in the end. Tell us, how was that from your perspective?
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't necessarily say the dream run. There was definitely some moments I played it safe there. You know, this elimination finals we're having is definitely electric, and yeah, definitely offers some new challenges. But yeah, landing the Twizzy at the end of that run felt extra dope to me. Just how can it not be electric? Had to throw the bike, celebrate with the boys, and yeah, let's see where it puts me.
It's hard to believe that was you playing it safe. Have you got some more tricks up your sleeve?
Yeah, I definitely, you know, trying to get into these second runs, just get one solid result down. And then, yeah, next run we go crazy, man. You better watch.
Best of luck.
Thank you so much.
That wasn't crazy? If that wasn't crazy, what in the world is crazy in his dictionary?
Yeah, playing it safe? What?
Jeez Louise. He needs a better score than 81.25 to move into top 3 position. You know he's going to be within the top 8. But who is he going to slot in ahead of here on this list of insane runs? Score to beat still an 84 from Kaidan Ingersoll with an error in that run, mind you. Big hammers in this run. Really no stone unturned either from Griffin Paulson. I don't know. What do you think? Second? What do you think?
It's going to be right. It's going to be right around there. You know, it was clean from top to bottom, which, you know, like you were saying, Kaidan did have that mistake. So
thinking fronty bar off the top and then double flip on that dirt to dirt. This could go into the lead, considering Kaidan, despite all the hammers, did have a bobble.
Yeah, I think either way, Griffin needs to be thinking about that second run.
He already is. You can tell. We're going to go crazy in run number 2, he says.
Kaidan, the biggest save I've ever seen in my entire life, bro. Holy, they like to take their time with me out here.
You're not getting paid hourly, so just chill.
Yep, it's out of respect. You know, as soon as that score goes in, they got to defend it forever. Better make sure you like it.
Look, I got some nice title bars on here. That's how I do all the bar spins. The seeds.
Score coming in for Griffin Paulson. It is an 80.42, slotting him into 4th place.
We'll take that. We'll take that.
We'll take it. You know, he's also thinking, we'll take it and we'll build on it.
Yeah, that's going to get him into that second run for sure. So he is going to regroup and see what he can do. I'm excited to see what crazy is.
That puts Tobey Miley on the bubble here. Now, Paul Couderc, next rider to drop. Tough couple weeks for Paul. Injured his shoulder just over 2.5 weeks ago. Bounced back quick. Has been hanging out in New Zealand training, getting ready for this moment right here.
Yeah, I think Paul's put that behind him. Every run through a practice all week long, he has looked so solid and confident. Here we go.
Paul Couderc on course. Flip bar?
I think it was a flip bar, yeah. Right into a 720. Ooh. Going a little long, keeping his speed going. He's looking really good so far.
Let's see if he goes the other way here. He does. Perfect.
Oh, corked out, Oppo 720. Off the wall, you can hear the crowd cheering him on. Man, this has got to be such a good feeling. I think that was a flip bar.
Yeah.
450 tail whip, toboggan, and this right here.
Come on,
backflip
Paul,
tail
yes.
whip, looking so smooth, all the speed in the world. What's he got?
Come on, Paul, cap it off, double backflip, perfect.
And he gets it around. You see him shaking his hand right there. Not quite the amount of speed he wanted, but he is laying it all on the line. He knows it's an eliminator. Still yanking back for that double, making it happen.
Coming off of a shoulder subluxation less than a month ago. to get back on the bike, get that shoulder strong enough through physical therapy work, but also knowing there's no time. It was a backflip, half X up. He's trying to get a backflip X up there. I can't believe how his regular 7s are upright and his oppo 7s are cork. Take a look at this. Opposite cork 720.
Spotting that landing, pulling the bike straight in, getting the bar off that wall ride. Flip bar right there, another technical one off of that cannon. Over-rotated 450 tail whip. Toboggan tricking all of the obstacles.
Look at him lean off the side of the bike, giving the bike a place to live while it's rotating into that backflip tail whip. And he was a little squirrel in the run into that final jump. Didn't time his pump absolutely perfectly, was getting some pedals in because he knew he needed all the speed he could get for that double backflip.
Yeah, we've seen some double backflip combinations out of Paul in the past, so you know he's got more on that last jump.
So the reason you're seeing Tobey Miley there on the right-hand side, it's not because he's the other rider who we saw cork 7s both directions from. It's because he's the rider who's on the bubble right now. He's sitting in 8th. Paul Couderc with a run that had some similar attributes. Will it slot in above or below? 71.25. So big moment for Paul here as the judges figure out his score, but an equally big moment for Tobey Miley living on the bubble.
All going to complete 1 run for the men, 7 riders for the women. 5 women are going to move on. That has already been decided. And then 8, just 8 men going into run number 2. Let's see what score is going to drop.
All right, score coming in for Paul Couderc. Oh man, he knocks Tobey Miley out of the top 8. It's an 80.05, good enough to be ranked 5th.
Paul Couderc locks his ticket to the second runs. You know he's got more.
Made it to the bottom. Yeah, that's perfect. That's good. No, next run I pump on.
You hear him, he's already talking about next run.
Yep.
All right, it's time to crank this intensity knob up. It's a rider who has a very, very filled trophy cabinet here. Nicholi Rogatkin on course.
Starts out with a double tail whip. Coming into this jump right here, massive cash roll. Oh, slipped his pedals.
No!
Slipped his pedals right there. I don't know what happened.
Going for the ground chuck cash roll on that second feature. No way. Oh, I just remember the format. This is horrible.
Yeah, what's going to happen here? Double tail up off the cannon, so he's trying right now. It's not over. In his mind, what's he going to do? 360 on the spine. Okay, yeah, backflip. May have conceded on this. No, goes for the twister.
To think how casually he can drop that hammer on the last jump, and just the disappointment of knowing that he's not going to be able to put a full run together here today. Any other season, we would send him back up to the top for another run, but that will not rank him in the top 8, unfortunately. And you know what that also means is if anybody's going to win the Triple Crown this season, it's not going to be somebody who's won it before.
That's absolutely true. Only 3 chances this season. Oh, right there, just looked like maybe his back tire landed a little bit before his front, and he just wasn't quite ready for it with his lower legs. Let's see what happens.
His foot levitated off the pedal here and got bumped off when he landed.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he's kind of always just gripping the frame with his legs while he's in the middle of those front cork 720s, aka the cash roll, but becomes a little bit more separated from it because he's reaching around with his hand to grab the back of his seat to get that ground chuck variation in there. Yeah, just a foot slip. And that's going to be the end of the day here for Nicholi Rogatkin, but always the showman, the winner of the Triple Crown of Slopestyle for the first time in 2018, a rider who finished last season on a high note after returning from injury by winning 2 gold events to cap off the 2024 season. And man, he's going to be fighting from behind here in 2025, which is so unfortunate to see. So 2 riders left to drop here in run number 1 for these 15 riders in the men's field before we chop it down to 8 and let them take a second run. He was second at the Christchurch event for the Crankworx Summer Series. His best World Tour Slopestyle result is a third in Innsbruck 2 seasons ago. This is Lucas Huppert.
360 off of the drop, so hard
tail whip
to get that rotation going with the tail whip off of the flat drop. No transition to get it going. Oh, and he almost over rotates, but he pulls it. Bars coming around.
Double bar spin in a front flip. That was insane.
Nice cash roll right there off the log. Gets the bonk bar to bar. I think that was a toboggan 360 there.
Oh, the cork step down.
Cork 7 on the step down once he got perfect landing.
This run has what it takes. How's he gonna finish it? The twister, oh no, he goes down. No, the frustration from Lucas Huppert. That was an all-time run in the works. My screen has spit all over it, Alan. Look at this.
So much energy into that run. Yeah, thanks for backing me up. I got big shadows on you. It was hard to see the tricks he was pulling, but definitely was where he wanted to be, down at the bottom, just unfortunately under-rotating that twister.
Oh,
so
my
much.
back hurts, I can tell you that.
To have it fall apart. I mean, the 3-whip off the flat drop.
So hard to get that going.
For me, it's all about this trick jump coming up. Count the bars here, Alan.
Okay, he's gonna be flipping, and we got 1, 2.
Front flip, double bar spin. I thought he was gonna go over rowie and long there, but he holds on, cleans it up.
We've seen triples out of him. I bet he backed out of it. Save his life, but that right there.
Hammer. Takashi, a cannon.
How perfect was that? Little nose to double bar. Big toboggan 360 off that. So high on the spine.
Oh, if he could have linked this cork 7 into this front cork 1080, a trick brought to the slopestyle world from Nicholi Rogatkin, the twister. Oh, this would have really shook up the leaderboard if he could have just inched out a little bit more rotation.
And that could be a side effect of the lack of practice these riders have. So much of it is by feel, so much of it is instinct, and just the least amount of runs possible. You might not know really what your speed is into gauge. Do I need to lay up?
Okay, what do you think? A 78.25 is what's needed to stay in the top 8. That run was so good, but he crashed at the end. Will the deductions for the crash put him outside the bubble? It does. Just by 3 positions here, the 59.5. Lucas Huppert will hit the showers and cheer on his friends as we welcome the final rider here on the men's start list for run number 1. A rider who has 5, count them 5 second places on the World Tour. No wins, Alan. Tim Bringer is due.
Yeah, if anyone sees opportunity here today in Rotorua, it's Tim Bringer. Looking really solid in practice today. I'm expecting big things right here, Cam.
Watch what he has off of this first feature. Come on.
Tuck, no-hander, backflip off the flat drop.
No
Straight
way.
into a 450 double tail whip to bar spin. Okay, he's locked in. Double
come on, get the
backflip,
hands.
tuck, no-hander.
Whoa.
Bobbled the hand a little bit, but somehow he was able to get it going. Adjusted his foot. How is he still going? Still absolute hammers.
This could seriously be the winning run here. He's got to put it through the finish.
So technical, tuck no-hander 360 to double backflip out of the whale tail.
Come on, Tim, what's it gonna be? The cashy to cap it off with the next up. Tim Bringer. What an insane run.
I think that was an emotional roller coaster for Tim. Starting it off absolutely perfect. A little bit of trouble on that double backflip, tuck no-hander. His hand bobbled, but somehow able to recover straight into a little bit of a foot bobble, but managed to trick all of the obstacles. Man, what a run.
Okay, huge points are going to be given out for this flat drop backflip tuck no-hander. You called it here, Alan. The 450, got to over-rotate the spin of that, get 2 tail-ups, catch pedals, and throw a bar spin. But here's the hand. Oh, he bobbles the left hand, somehow gets it on and squeezes around the second rotation in that double backflip tuck no-hander.
Never say die right there. A lot of riders would just jump out and call it quits, but not Tim Bringer. He sees the opportunity today. Backflip tail whip off of the cannon. Again, so hard to create those spinning rotations without a transition. Look at how dipped that was.
The second double backflip in this run. The first one was done with variation, the no-hander. The second one was done on a step down. Both of those elements are going to score those tricks higher than a straight double backflip on a normal feature. And then to finish things off, he goes, I got a cash roll for you, but you know what? I want to leave no stone unturned, so he goes for the X up there. Looks like he actually got it to 180. What do you think, like 78 degrees?
I think that might be
178.
If there's anything that the judges are looking at with a fine-tooth comb, it's that, maybe.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, Kaidan Ingersoll sitting in the lead with a run littered with bangers, but also a mistake. A mistake that was covered up, but a mistake nonetheless. Will this spotless run from Tim Bringer put him into the top spot? He needs a score greater than 84. We got our fans weighing in here. Bringer is the man. What's the score going to be? A 93.25. Tim Bringer into first place.
Absolutely huge score for Tim Bringer. He said, hey, Kaidan, I've been here a while. I've paid my dues. I know what this game is all about.
Oh my God, I love that. Such a good point. Hey, welcome to the show. It's awesome. Great to see you here. You're doing great things. I've been here for a while. I got 5 second places, and I'm coming for your head.
Yeah, massive score right there.
Tim, 93.25 puts you into the lead. That's got to be a good feeling.
Yeah, it's a super good feeling. I did almost everything I wanted, so yeah, super stoked.
You've been chasing that gold for quite some time. What would it mean to get that gold here today?
Would be super sick for sure, yeah. I don't know. Would be nice, yeah.
What's the plan now for run number 2?
Let's see what's happening next, and maybe I will have to go for it again. I don't know. Let's see.
Let's see. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Tim Bringer, man, is this the day that he finally gets on top of that box? It's like it happens once. It's, you know, a celebration to get second place. Happens again, you're like, all right, I'm working toward a goal here. By the time you get to your 5th one, you're like, it's not funny anymore. I want to be on top.
Yeah, nobody wants to be the bridesmaid more than once.
So Kaidan Ingersoll will be the second to last rider to drop. The way this is going to work for the men's field is we will get those top 8 riders. Max Fredriksson will be the first rider to drop. And then Tim Bringer will just sit there and watch everybody. And if he has to try to better this run, you know he'll go up there and do it. We've seen him from the past go up there and try to better that score. Of course, we still have the women's field coming as well. We're chopping that one down to 5.
Prepare your bike. Visualize the track. Keep your blood pumping. Every mistake is a new opportunity. Keep your grip loose for the wildest rides. Bike on Red Bull TV.
What do you make of those runs, Alan? Not only for the men, obviously that's the freshest storyline in our mind, but the next thing we're going to see is the top 5 for the women, getting back to the top of the course there for for another run and an opportunity to really get some glory out here today.
Yeah, I mean, so much of what we saw was the riders, getting that solid foundation. There was maybe 1 or 2 riders that I saw that were really pushing that I'm going to try to win this in the first round. So I'm really excited to see how the riders step up. When you get that first run down, you have kind of a win for that day. Okay, I made it through. I'm in the second runs. That's when it's time to lay it all on the line.
And when we do see them laying it all on the line, for the men, it's going to be, all right, Kaidan going up against Bringer. For the women, Patty coming out, showing what we've been expecting to see from her for the last year. She's capable of it. She's got her head game straight. The question was never her capabilities on the bike. We can watch her Instagram and her video parts to know she has what it takes. But now she's sitting in that hot seat, and the rider who beat her just a couple weeks ago in Christchurch, Natasha Miller, she's within striking distance.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's really what it's all about. You know, the mental game. You know, when you got to do it in the moment, that's where it counts. And she's broken that barrier, I think, right now. So it's all going to go up from here for her.
Talking about slopestyle right now, because we're right in the middle of it. We still got second runs for the women and the men, but we're also right in the middle of this first World Tour stop here in Rotorua, one of our favorite places to go riding. So we checked in with our reigning queen of Crankworx about what some of her favorite trails are here in Rotorua.
Hey, it's Martha Gill here. Today we're going to be riding Eagle versus Shark, one of my favorite trails in the forest. Let's go check it out. It's a super cool trail. It's like the go-to trail that you ride to warm up. I feel like everyone loves it. It's just super fun and flowy. Got a bit of everything. I feel like Rotorua is such a unique place, like the forest, all the ferns, and the dirt. I love the dirt here. I feel like you can just ride in any conditions, and it's always super fun, and there's just so many trails to go at.
So we saw Martha Gill out at our pump track challenge last night, unfortunately not making it into the broadcast, which was the top 8, but we're going to see her racing dual slalom tomorrow. Tune into that broadcast. It's going to be 4:00 p.m. local New Zealand time. And we're going to be talking all about the king and queen of Crankworx overall standings as we do find ourselves here in the first of 3 World Tour stops.
Yeah, speaking of that, Martha being the reigning queen, she's had a really good history here in the slalom race, won the last couple. She's really going to need to regroup and get a couple more points. I know that pump track didn't go the way she wanted. She's doing really good in downhill. She's pumped for that one. Plenty of points out on the table still this weekend.
You bring up downhill. We talked about it at the beginning of the show, but let's bring it up again. Today's a big day for all the Crankworx fans out there joining us via the interwebs, but also the ones on site here. We're not done once we finish up slopestyle, are we?
No, not at all. You know, we're going to go straight into the downhill. It's going to be amazing. The fact that we have slopestyle and downhill in the same day is so good. And the fans are out here. The weather's good. It's going to be amazing.
Well, unfortunately, we're not going to see Nicholi Rogatkin up there for run 2. He finished off last season with 2 big gold wins, but he's always a crowd favorite out here. Great to see him mixing it up with the fans. Let's learn some more about this hero, Nicholi Rogatkin.
Young Nicholi had some big dreams. I think he would be unbelievably fired up, but honestly, he would be also shocked to still be here. It's kind of difficult to take those risks sometimes, but then I see that hunger, that motivation that these young riders have, and it helps me find that motivation again. It makes me fired up to be on a higher level and push myself more and more to keep up with these kids. They're gonna keep me going until I can't go anymore.
29 years old and going into his, I think, 22nd year of competing on a bicycle. I love to watch his process, to see him evolve as a human and as a competitor, and to hear him say that he's fueled by the influx of new talent. You see it. It's like when you bring the puppy dog into the old dog's pen and it just wakes him up, not that he's ever sleeping.
Yeah, I got to admit, slightly, it's a little bit of vindication for me because that was Nicholi for me. He showed up out of nowhere in BMX as this little kid and put pressure on all of us. And we either, put our tails between our legs or we used it for motivation like he is. And man, it's so cool to see full circle. He's still sending.
Well, welcome to the Maxxis Slopestyle in Memory of McGazza. If you're just joining us, this is a pretty exciting time to tune in because we are starting second runs for the women's field. We chopped it down to the top 5 scores from run number 1. We're going to give them each another chance to better that score. It's a 2-run, highest score counts format. And we're taking a peek at the next rider we're going to see dropping in right now. Reverse start order. Zoe Witwicki, the youngster, 15 years of age from Canada, scored a 55.75 in run number 1. She will be the first we see drop. And then we will have Shealen Reno, the overall champ from last year. Robin Goomes, the defending champ from Rotorua here a year ago. Natasha Miller coming off that big win in Christchurch on the Summer Series. And then the rider who's going to be able to just sit back and watch it all, see if she has more work to do. The last rider to drop will be Patricia Druwen. Zoe Witwicki, second and final run on course.
15 years old right here, making the big show, getting that second run opportunity here in Rotorua. So awesome to see these riders breaking onto the circuit. Tuck no-hander right there on that massive jump.
Oh, good.
Wall ride up and over, off of the cannon. What's she gonna do? Just keeping it nice and smooth. T to B is the name of the game. This is where some of the riders having trouble getting the pedal in. Plenty of speed right there. She will be making it into the finish corral. What she got on the last jump?
Suicide no-hander. Perfect extension on that.
Showing some versatility with those no-handed combinations.
That is what put her into the finals here for second run. 15 years old, can you believe it? A couple riders in the field not able to get a top-to-bottom run. We saw them drop out from run 2 based on the fact that we cut down to 5. But Zoe, even though she's just a teenager, she's able to go top to bottom here, add a couple tricks. The tuck no-hander up top. The perfectly executed suicide no-hander at the bottom. Let's see if she's gonna be able to move up the ranks from 5th here and kick her World Tour career off on the right foot. Harriet Burbage-Smith here giving cred to the youngster.
Yeah, that's still not gonna work.
Yeah, when you're at home and you're training, right there.
Oh, she betters her run 1 score.
Score for sure.
61.25.
So what I was saying, yeah, when you're riding at home, you know, you have your trick list, but the element of the situation is completely removed. So she's learning here how to deal with that element of competition.
Shealen Reno, the winner of the overall battle last year, sitting in 4th place here currently with a 67.5. Remember, she bobbled on that pendulum on the last jump here. Let's see if she can clean it up in run 2.
Yeah, looking clean so far right here, tricking the first 2 obstacles.
Oh, that's what she wanted.
Nothing right there. That's not doing nothing, but touching the bike. Nothing from her body was holding on. Taking both hands and both feet off. Tuck no-hander off the cannon.
If she can clean this up at the bottom, this will better her 67.5 from run 1. With, oh, no!
Just hung up slightly on that spine. Doing the smart thing by grabbing the brakes and not going for the whale tail.
Shealen Reno not going to improve her score. She'll be finishing 4th place at best here, but something tells me she's going to give the fans something to look at. What do you think? Think she'll go for the pendulum down here just for entertainment value?
I mean, I think at least she's going to go for a pendulum. She got nothing to lose right here. I'd like to see something maybe we haven't seen out of her yet.
Never know. This one is for the Rotorua crowd.
Oh, slipped a little pedal there. Oh! Looked like maybe some sort of a combo coming in, but not able to reel it in off that final jump.
To be stoked that she pushed it and tried to add some more to build on top of that run number 1.
Well, Shealen is going to have to live with that 4th place finish here. But she was definitely on a mission to better that score, doing what she needed to do to clean things up like this. She had a no-footer in run number 1. I was thinking that's probably not what she wanted, but we got a little insight into what she was going for there. She's trying to get the hands and the feet off for that nothing. Here's where it fell off the tracks, Alan.
Yeah, watch the back tire right there, landing a little bit on the deck of the street spine. Course builders here doing a nice job building a little roller on that, but unfortunately, not enough speed for her to make that smart decision.
So Shealen Reno unable to better her score. We got 3 riders left to go, and I'm kind of getting some word here, Alan, in my headset. There's a chance these top 3 riders might be happy with their run 1 scores and training it down to the finish line, which would mean It's a victory lap for Patricia Druwen. A lot to celebrate here in her first Crankworx Slopestyle World Tour start and her first win in the big show. So there you see them, the defending champion from last year, Robin Goomes. Natasha Miller will grab the silver. And then Patty Druwen, as she leads this train, she metaphorically leads the progression in women's slopestyle, taking the gold here today and defining the path of things to come.
Pretty cool to see these riders kind of coming together. Just so stoked for each other, having this platform that Crankworx offers. Patricia not laying it up, bar to bar out of the cannon there.
Alan, what does this say about the run Patricia was able to drop in run one? The fact that neither Robin Goomes or Natasha Miller felt like it was even worth trying to beat her.
You know, I think it has a lot to do with the whole week. You know, everybody's been kind of struggling mentally, being able to wrap their heads around the schedule changes and the bad weather and not riding the jumps enough. And to make the podium at any event, especially a world level event, you kind of get that, I did it, I relaxed, I made it. So I'm not mad at that.
I would also kind of touch on the fact that there's a reason the format for slopestyle is a 2-run format with the highest score counting. A lot of these riders have their dream run in mind, and if you land it in the first go, well, you're celebrating. If you don't have anything left in the chamber, there's nothing left to do but celebrate the fact that you executed on your goal and, you know, claim your spot on that podium.
Yeah, in a best run counts format, I mean, you got two options on the first run. You're either going to lay up and do something smooth, or you're going to give yourself 2 opportunities to do your dream run.
Well, there it is. We will be throwing back to this moment many, many times the rest of this season and perhaps seasons to come, as this is the historic first win on the Crankworx Slopestyle World Tour for the young phenom Patricia Druwen, the rider everybody was talking about as soon as it was announced that there would be a women's field for slopestyle mountain bike competition on the highest stage of the Crankworx World Tour.
Yeah, deal sealed, I think. Patricia Druwen coming out here and solidifying her spot, and definitely, you know, sort of just making everybody right today. Everybody, that all the hype and everything that was behind it. I'm sure there's a few riders at home watching this thinking, oh man, it's getting harder. I know Alma Wigberg's probably watching, looking at some of those combos.
I am here with our Crankworx Slopestyle Rotorua gold medalist, Patricia. Patricia, what does this mean to you?
It means a lot for me. I had a pretty hard season last year, and to be back competing at Crankworx is the best feeling ever.
I was watching the riders just get so excited when they were watching your run. Tell me about your run.
Yeah, my run was kind of scary and super random. I did tricks what I never did in the training, but yeah, I'm super stoked.
You do have a background as a gymnast. You only came to the sport a couple of years ago. Tell us about the preparation coming into today.
Sorry?
How was the preparation coming into today?
Good. Yeah, that's all.
There's been so much hype around you. How do you handle it mentally?
Good.
I can see how much it's taken out of you. Congratulations. Best of luck this season.
Yeah.
Also, just to touch on the fact that there was a rear tire explosion right next to them while they're doing that interview, which has everybody taken back right now who was standing close to that tire. But to hear Patricia say that there was a level of spontaneity and improvisation to that run really hints at what's to come. If she could do things that she didn't plan on in that run, wow, I can't wait to see what she does next after this is her building block.
Yeah, and being able to roll that dice with the confidence, knowing she, you know, with minimal practice, not actually doing some of the tricks that she did in her run, being able to put all that aside, put all of the hype aside, put, you know, the issues she had last year aside, and really just make it happen. So cool to see.
Well, here's a look at the current top run here for the men. Tim Bringer currently occupying that hot seat with this heater of a run, Alan.
Yeah, this is, you know, we expected to see this out of Tim. The door is open. to get that top step of the podium. He may have been the tallest guy on the podium a few times, but not from being on the top step, and he wants that.
This guy is so huge, you're right. Sitting on the second spot, he's still
Let me talk about that double backflip on the step down for a second and why that's so technical.
Please do.
How you do a double backflip is the rotation. You set that off the lip. You do one up and one down. One backflip on the way up and one backflip on the way down. That's how you time your rotation. But on a step down, he's doing one on the way up and one on the way down, but you're only in the air for half the amount of time on the up.
He's almost doing half of one on the way up, though.
So how do you slow your rotation down? You can't. You have to visualize and kind of look into the future on where that rotation needs to be, which makes it even more blind. So unbelievable technical trick right there.
Pretty much doing 1.5 backflips while falling out of the sky. You talk about how big he is in stature. He puts all of that strength into executing tricks like we saw in that top run so far, which scored a 93.25. What's your favorite Crankworx World Tour stop? Let us know in the comments. 1 for Rotorua, 2 for Cans, 3 for Whistler.
You know which one's my favorite?
Curious, I don't know, but
the
I'm
one
curious.
I'm at.
Yeah.
In that moment.
Feels good to be here right now, I know that much. And it feels good to be knowing that we've got a field of 8 here. We've got a guy with a target on his back. His name's Tim Bringer. He's got 5 seconds. Will he win today? We've got 7 other riders who would like to knock him off that spot, one of which, the rider who was on the podium with a 3rd in Joyride to finish up last season, Max Fredriksson, wants to better an 8th position currently. Was that a triple?
Yeah, already stepping it up right there. The triple downside tail whip.
Oh!
Right there, double backflip tail whip. Little bit squirrely, keeps the momentum. Didn't phase him whatsoever.
Max Fred.
Tuck no handed 360 to bar spin. Gets that nose suicide 2 bar spin. Triple combo off that little pad.
So late.
Trucking both directions with an invert out. Coming into the Showtime booter. Does he have the speed?
Oh, he's gonna get 2. Come on, what happened? Oh no, Max Fredriksson looking to better that 78.92 by adding an extra tail up there to that truck to whip that he didn't run number 1, going for the 360 bar spin and double tail whip.
Big impact there for Max, a little bit sore. Yeah, the drone shot got super close to him. I don't know, I don't think that would have affected him at all, but looking a little bit under-rotated, trying to squeeze in that extra tail whip from that first run.
I had a feeling that's exactly what he was gonna be going for. He was so clean and flawless, almost effortless in run number 1 on that truck to whip. He knew he had more time. The question was it enough time to add an extra tail up? It looked like it wasn't. We're going to get a replay of that from a different camera angle. We'll be able to tell exactly what went wrong. But Max Fredriksson definitely shaking this one off.
Yeah, speaking of stepping it up, he did step it up there on that first hip. Here, staying technical with the nollie 360 invert, and this was just a downside double tail of last time, but you see the bike goes around 3 times right there, keeping his momentum.
So he was already improving. Look at him almost get caught leaning there. Here we go, we're gonna see it from this angle. Watch him almost get caught leaning to the left, catches the pedals, and as he's eyeing up the next feature, ooh, he's got to reposition and correct. Watch this late bar. Not done yet.
Yeah, a little nose manual off the pad to suicide, straight to bar spin.
Opposite truck, into reg 360 bar spin to inward table, inward invert. Here we go, this is the angle we've been looking for, 360 bar spin, 1 tail up. On the way down, trying to sneak around that second tail up, not able to get on the bike. It looked like it was a little short as well in distance. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it really goes back to that, you know, looking at the replay back at the spine. You know, the amplitude on that Oppo truck was not quite as high as it was in that first run, and I think that really played into him not quite having the momentum he needed to add that extra tail whip there.
Yeah, there was a deficit of speed that started on that spine. You're exactly right. Way harder to boost an Oppo truck on that spine than it would be a regular truck. Jake Atkinson now, the next rider in the gate, an opportunity to better the 79.25 he earned in run 1. He's currently sitting 7th.
Truck's off, look how much fun he's having. A rider having fun is a dangerous rider right there, getting that cashy on the hip. Backflip tail whip, perfect landing, keeping speed rolling, wall ride, bar spin, off the cannon. 360 quadruple bar spin.
Oh no! Oh, I'm so glad he didn't throw it away there.
Oh no! What's he gonna do? How did he keep going off that 360 tail whip?
Final jump, Jake Atkinson, the Kashi whip! No way!
He almost added another jump on the landing. That was crazy.
A little more distance and he would have landed that. Taking a page out of the Rogatkin playbook with the cash roll tail whip. No way, Jake Atkinson.
Massive, massive run, so committed. Seeing him at the top, he was laughing, having fun.
Yeah, you
so
called
dangerous.
that out right away. You called him dangerous. He was having fun here. There was some sort of personality to this run that made you feel like he was going to go for something big at the bottom. There was a vibe and an energy to the start of this run.
Yeah, I think being happy with where he was at and having nothing to lose really puts a rider's mind into a fun place, and we get to reap the benefits. Look how massive that flip tail whip was.
You're only going to get a quad truck if you're feeling really good on your bike.
Yeah, absolutely.
Check this out.
Off of the cannon, nonetheless.
3, 4. Come on, you got to be kidding me. And then here, you know, he probably wanted to chuck the bars after that, got caught leaning. That's kind of where the sketch train of chaos began.
Watch the back tire.
Pencil.
So front end high.
And he still goes for the double whip here.
That's all the hours in the skate park right there paying off.
Silly business. I don't know, I could not have guessed what he was gonna do on that last jump here, but he went for the front cork 720 with a tail whip. You know, we can trim that down to call it by its nickname, the Kashi whip. You gotta give it to Jake Atkinson for going for it. A rider who always goes for it is in the gate right now, Paul Couderc. One of my favorite riders has ever thrown a leg over a mountain bike. He was on the podium last year, Joyride, or 2023 at Joyride with a second place.
So much intensity out of Paul's riding. He brings us along. Let's see what he's got.
Here we go. He wants to better a 6. The flat drop backflip X up here to start things off. Regular way, cork 7.
Goes long on the 720. Let's see if he can maintain his speed. And there's the opposite cork 720. He does. He's so perfect on that. Keeping his momentum. Backflip bar spin off the cannon. 450 tail. So we're looking at like a pretty much the same run so far. We know he's got some big moves. Let's see. Backflip tail. Does he have the speed to throw a combo in the double?
Looks like he has speed, Alan. Double backflip, one-footed can. Perfect. Paul Couderc ending that banger run with a hammer.
Absolutely what Paul Couderc wanted to nail when he was up at the top.
He spilled Hoopy's beer.
Not cool, bro.
Sorry. So polite. Oh, he got better extension on the X up on that flat drop back.
This is where I got a little concerned.
Dude, he pulled up on the right pedal in order to squeak around the extra rotation on that over-rotated Reg 7. Backs it up with that corked out Oppo 7. 3 whips this beast.
Back tire coming so close to that pad on the 3-whip. Tricking every set, toboggan 360. This is where things get risky. This backflip tail whip on the step down. You have to be perfect.
We've seen so many riders throw it away on that jump. He was straight to pedals on that flip whip. Here we go, double backflip. No, let's throw in a variation. You watch his foot absolutely snap. That knee had nothing left. That was all the way full extension on that double backflip, one-footed can.
Both tires landing at the absolute same time. When that happens on a double backflip, you never actually get to see the landing. You're just pulling and praying, and right there he's saying, thank you.
Oh man, with what transpired less than a month ago at Natural Selection Bike when Paul Couderc went down, sublexed his shoulder, thought he threw away his chances at starting out the Crankworx Slopestyle World Tour on the right foot. That is exactly what Paul Couderc wanted to do out here today, but it's been a tough path putting the pieces together to do it.
Jimmy giving him some love online. Let's go.
Let's go, Paul. Paul's done his job. Now it's time for Peter Henke, Brett Frew, and crew to do theirs.
What I love about watching Paul ride it, like I said at the top of the run, he takes us along the run with him. There's so much emotion and so much energy that goes into his runs, I feel like I'm able to be there right with him. It's such a cool feeling.
So true. Paul Couderc wears his heart on his sleeve, and he's been going through a tough month, man. And thought that he was going to get a less than desirable start to the season, but he just fixed that here with that run.
You see him there stretching that shoulder a little bit, so definitely not completely healed up.
Oh no, he's pushing through. He is fighting through the pain right here and trying to build strength in that shoulder. You know, any little crash here would set that back, but he definitely focused on the positive and seemingly didn't let it affect him mentally. I'm sure it was affecting him physically. All right, so Paul Couderc's best finish on the Crankworx Slopestyle World Tour is a second. That came at Joyride 2023. So he has tasted podium glory. Will this run move him into top 3 contention here today? Kind of cloud cover coming in right now. Luckily, these windsocks are remaining flat. Really great conditions out here for a slopestyle competition.
You know what else it's great for? Downhill. I can't believe the day is not done.
Later today, make sure you tune in for the downhill. Rob Warner himself, along with Elliot Jackson, will be calling the race here live from Skyline Rotorua as we look back on this absolutely banger and spotless run from Paul Couderc. Judge is trying to figure out what to do with it.
Yeah, he stomped that opposite cork 7 so strong.
Needs to better an 82.92 in order to move into top 3. Here it is, score coming in. It is an 82.06, just outside the podium, but a great score to build on for this very young 2025 season. Look at Nicholi.
Robbery!
They're saying robbery, they're calling robbery. Paul Couderc moves into 4th place as we take a peek at Griffin Paulson. Thinking about the run that he did in run number 1, the fact that that only has him in 6th is insane. He said we're going to get crazy in run number 2. We're about to see what he means by that.
Back on that rider's left, right there, front flip, double bar spin, so stepping up a bit, right into a double backflip, really perfect rotation.
Cleaner this time.
360 double tail up, little bit of a slip up on the pedal, able to get a tail up off, so he's still on.
Yeah, he's back on track.
Trucks the cannon. That tuck no-hander on that hip, I love that move. Backflip bar spin on the spine.
Come on, get those pedals.
Flip tail up, stomps it, so here we go. What's he got?
See a show here. Goes for the twister again, comes up short, buck to the flat bottom.
It looked like his rotation coming off the lip. The way he snapped it wasn't what he wanted. He was yanking and pulling all the way around, and I think that might have slowed down his forward momentum. Kind of turned into a big seat bounce after he landed, shooting him all the way to the bottom of the landing.
Oh,
what a rough hit.
Huge impact, face to handlebar, coming up short after rotating 1,080 degrees on that final feature and landing up on the flat deck. All the riders out here wearing full face helmets, but still getting a bloody lip. Was that a front flip double bar spin?
It absolutely
out
was.
Of the start gate.
It absolutely was. He was stepping it up. He was ready to go.
Dropped a pedal here on this 3 double whip, but really put the pieces back together after that.
Yeah, so hard to recover from something like that, but he gets straight back into it, tail ups all the way over the obstacle.
You know, I was thinking about his first run and then going up there and trying to do it again and find some way of improving upon it. It's almost like sitting at the casino. You've been at this slot machine and it wins big. Are you gonna play that same slot machine again? You know it's gonna be a bit riskier. He had this twister in run number 1. Maybe a little bit of a timing error on the roller coming into this lip, but you're right. The axis of rotation was a little bit different there. The speed wasn't what he needed either.
Yeah, I think Griffin's gonna be okay. I think he just bit his tongue really hard.
Could be.
Is what happened there.
Man, that was a heavy impact.
Yeah, completely blind too. No time to see it coming and brace for it. Just sort of catapulted him to flat bottom.
Chance Moore. If you look at his percentage on the World Tour, his first appearance was a 5th place. And then it was a gold event, not a World Tour event, but a couple weeks ago, 4th place in Christchurch. He is a top 5 rider on any given day. I believe he's sitting in 5th place right now with only room to grow here. Yeah, he's locked in a 5th place position. Let's see if he can move up the ranks.
Cork 7 on that rider's left, step down straight into a massive flip tail whip, transferring again.
One chance.
360 double tail whip. Oh, first 360 we've seen over that hip.
We saw Tim bring a truck in earlier. Look, front flip bar spin on the cannon.
Truck on the spine. Front flip bar spin on the step down. Here we go.
Some variation there for sure. Final jump. Oh, what? No way! Chance Moore.
Was that a decade backflip? What did I just
going
see?
For the backflip tail up to late 360. I remember that being called the Wyatt Riot. Matty Wyatt doing it back in the day on the Nitro Circus Live Tour. You know what? Chance Moore is showing his cards right here. It is insane what he's been holding on to. He's got tricks that we don't even know about yet. He's got that training compound up there in BC. He's a 5th place rider with the tricks that he's cozy with, but he obviously has a bunch more secrets he's ready to drop.
Yeah, I thought my brain glitched there on that last jump. What was that?
Well, we're
getting that Cork 7 so clean right there. Such a gnarly way to start
Watch
out.
when he catches. Here we go. Backflip tail up. He goes for the one-footed can there.
He did get a can off.
Oh my God, his level is so much higher than we even realized.
There's that 360 double tail whip.
Okay, we really have to look at this one closely. He fronty barred the cannon.
Look at the style right there. Rotorua in the background. Trucks the spine.
It was a front flip, one-footed can out of the lip down. You want this jersey, play our game.
Stepping it up all the way down the course.
Look at this, here we go. Backflip, tail up, catch the bike, chuck your shoulders around to turn this into a Cork 7 with the tail up. Oh,
that
man,
was close.
He was just a couple degrees away from perfection on that.
That was so close.
If he's holding on to this, what else is he holding on to? What would that have done to our leaderboard? With this sport existing for so long, over 20 years, it's so rare we see somebody bringing something new to the table.
Yeah, that would have been a first here in Crankworx Slopestyle. Look at Nicholi loving it.
This is the best.
That new eyewear sponsor, Versace.
I'm not even going to say anything over that. That says it all. Wow, to have Brett Reeder out here, a rider who's pushed the limits and paved the way for these young riders to be floored and dumbfounded. Oh my God. Ben Thompson feeling the same emotion up there in the start tower.
Almost a victory run right here. Ben on the podium before he wants to get back up there. Looking so clean. 450 double downside tail whip. The technicality is huge. Backs out of that Superman seat grab backflip right there. Just wasn't feeling good for it. Chilling in 3rd place right now. He's going to hold on to that score.
Ben Thompson absolutely dumbfounded and floored up there watching what his fellow Canadian countryman was able to do in his run. Ben Thompson saying, you know what? I am getting my first Crankworx World Tour podium, and I am happy with that. Ben Thompson celebrates 3rd place bronze medal.
Yeah, the feeling of that pressure.
So great to see. Coming in as an alternate, fighting to keep the dream alive, and now turning over a new leaf. He's a podium rider on the Crankworx Slopestyle World Tour. That's a big deal.
He's been trying to get to this finish corral his whole life. You saw him up at the top, how eager he was. He was like, can I go? I just want to ride my bike.
Oh, the stage is set, man. I'm just thinking about what we have next. This is nuts.
And that's where it went wrong right there. Looked like maybe he was over-rotating just slightly and backed out of the Superman seat grab backflip. Just teasing it out for the fans coming into the final jump. Fist pump. Usually that would be an illegal fist pump while still on the course. Mandatory 5-point deduction, but he's going to take that first run score.
Well, we are celebrating the occasion here where Ben Thompson, a crowd favorite, gets his first World Tour Slopestyle podium. And we're gonna give you an opportunity to win something that is one of a kind right here as well, as the riders celebrate in the finish corral. And we take a look at the next rider left to drop. We're gonna get right into it. This is what it's all about here in slopestyle competition. Kaidan Ingersoll, the World Tour rookie, backed into a corner. Can he beat the score from Tim Bringer and take the win? He's gonna lay it all out on the table here.
Yeah, going huge, looking perfect up top so far.
Whoa, the amplitude!
Huge backflip double tail whip. Remember, he's in second place right now, but with a mistake. So, can he do what he needs to do? Trot to downside tail whip.
Come on, Kaidan.
Opposite invert 360. Regular invert 360.
Come on, come on.
Backflip tail, little bit of a hang up, but better than the first one. We know he's got the pedal power.
Will he go for the triple? 360, triple downside whip. He rides out. No way.
Nothing but teeth. Nothing but teeth out of Kaidan Ingersoll, smiling down the landing, so stoked to pull it off. It wasn't perfect, but it was good.
If the judges gave him an 84 for a run that had a huge bobble and a 360 double downside whip on the last jump, what will it be for the 360 triple downside whip?
Yeah, unbelievably tight up here on the top. Nothing you could call out.
Look at the amplitude.
Yeah, when he popped off that lip, he just went straight up. He wasn't even leaning his head back.
Look at this, there's a moment here where his body is completely spread out vertical while he's bringing around that second tail up, and he just stomps with authority. You can see the efficiency and the strength out of this body. He puts in all the work at the gym and the training compound. Man, I thought he was going to not have the speed for the triple down here at the bottom. Watch him come up short on the flip whip out of the whale tail.
Yeah,
here we go.
Maybe a little long before it, but not holding back whatsoever. Back tire hangs up just slightly, but he was able to stay straight this time. He knew he had the speed.
2, 3, a little bit of a pedal bobble here, but nothing compared to the bobbles of run number 1 where he scored an 84. Bear in mind though, that 84 is out the window. He needs a 93.25 or better to move into the lead.
Almost
score coming in for Kaidan Ingersoll's run 2. 90.87, he improves but does not move into the lead. It has finally happened. The Frenchman, Tim Bringer, will walk away with the slopestyle gold medal.
Let's go.
Finally a victory run for Tim.
No way.
He's got to be so stoked right now. You can tell he put a lot into it. He's coming into the season looking trim and fit, looking absolutely perfect through practice. He's not going to lay up. This is for us. Just a showtime run right there. Super slow bus driver, 450.
After 5 second places, to be able to take a victory lap here in celebration of his first win. It has been such a long time coming. You can call him a veteran out here now, and you can call him a winner. You can also call him the only rider who could potentially win the Triple Crown this year. In a victory lap, he's doing double flips out of the whale tail. This guy is on another level.
One of the nicest guys on the circuit right here. You're gonna see all of his competitors be absolutely stoked for him. Gotta love this sport where your biggest competitors are also your biggest supporters.
As soon as I saw Emil Johansson not able to compete in the first stop of the World Tour, the Triple Crown winner from last season, David Godziak, not going to be there, I thought, could this possibly be Tim Bringer's opportunity to get on the top step of that podium? Now we're in a situation where Tim Bringer is alive for the Triple Crown, and we will hopefully see Emil and Godzi come back on tour later on this summer and battle it out. This is going to be, like you said, Alan, the way you're referring to it is there's a storm brewing, right?
Oh yeah, there's a storm of confidence brewing for all of these riders, and getting them all on the same course is in the future. We're gonna see that. It's forecasted, it's a guarantee.
Oh, you can see the emotion on the face of Tim Bringer here. He's worked so hard for this moment. He's been so close many, many times, 5 to be exact. That is so incredibly powerful to be able to do a flat drop backflip tuck no-hander. And he doesn't phone in the extension either. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, right there, the ability to recover in midair while double backflipping, readjust his hand. Really, for me, it was the start. You know, how he started it off with that quadruple combo on that first hip. It just really showed he had the confidence to do whatever he needed to do to win.
It's all about the amplitude on that spine, isn't it? There's no way he would have the speed to double flip out of it if he didn't go to the moon on that 360 tuck no-hander. Oh, the sneaky X up in there on the Kashi, knowing that the rest of the field could potentially be doing 1080s.
Five silver medals today. You are our Crankworx Rotorua gold medal champion. What does this mean?
Well, this is super nice. Yeah. I'm super happy to bring this home to my parents because there is a lot of silver at home, but not gold. So it's super nice. Yeah.
A lot of work has gone into this. Tell me about your training coming into this season.
Well, it's always super busy during off season, so it's hard to get all the training done. I wasn't sure when I came here, but yeah, it's nice. I'm happy about this.
And it was such an impressive first run. How were the nerves going to that second run when you were sitting up the top?
Well, I don't know. I was just super happy about the result and just wanted to have fun one last time here. Like, I don't know.
Congratulations. Best of luck for the season.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You know, Alan, we were talking a lot about the potential scenarios we could possibly see here today, and one of them was, what if Tim Bringer gets second again with the arrival of Kaidan Ingersoll? That would have been such a bummer for Tim Bringer after such a, hard-fought number of seasons with those second places. Kaidan Ingersoll is going to be the one climbing the ladder right now, and we're going to have to watch him work for his first win, which is going to be so entertaining.
Yeah, I think for Kaidan, that's really the perfect entrance into this World Tour, The amount of expectation that will be on him if he won his first ever is a lot to take on. So to get second place, to know he's got more in the tank, maybe a couple little mistakes, things to clean up, he's got something to go work on, and he knows he can get that top step. So yes, the rest of the season will be interesting.
Well, as the crowd and the man himself celebrates this big victory, stick with us. We're going to digest all the action here from the Maxxis Slopestyle in memory of McGazza after the break. Don't go away. Druwen and Tim Bringer celebrate their wins. Well, we're going to celebrate a win from one of the lucky viewers. I use the term lucky, but not really. We made you work for this. We made you follow at Crankworx, follow at Red Bull Bike, and tag the rider who you thought could win the competition out here today. This is the signed jersey from Chance Moore, and it means so much more, the fact that it has a story to tell. Chance Moore, a rider, looking to make history out there today, going for a trick we haven't seen in slopestyle competition. Hey, guess what? It's signed, and it's going to Keegan Elmers. Thanks for jumping through our hoops, playing our game. We're going to send you this really stinky jersey. You're welcome, and I'm sorry. We're going to get that in a box, heading your way right now. Congratulations, Keegan, and congratulations to all the riders out there. The gates are dropped. We are off and running on this 2025 World Tour, aren't we?
Yeah, the season's going, Some of the more unique things about it. Some of the riders still struggling with a few of the things. We saw Tom Isted, again, on that twister. Same jump last year that was giving him that trouble. So we know people are going to go back and work. We know that Cairns is not that far away. It's really anybody's game. This is going to be one of the more exciting seasons I think we've had.
The stage is set. We're also going to welcome in the riders who weren't able to compete at this stop in future stops of this World Tour. So the tour is young. We started off on the right foot. It's going to be magnificent. Thank you for joining us here, the Maxxis Slopestyle in memory of McGazza. Don't forget to join us later. Rob Warner and Elliot Jackson will be on site here for the downhill. We'll see you then.